So anyways, they finally catch up to me. I get thrown in prison. So I'm hanging out there, and these people that are like kind of my workers, but like I don't really pay them. It's kind of like it's a really weird situation. They show up with jetpacks and they break me out of prison. And my son, who's living with my ex-wife and new stepdad, is kind of like, hey, I really want to go like live your job and do your job with you. And I'm like, I don't know, you should ask your wife, because I'm not very responsible of a human being. And I show up and I'm like, cool, like we good. And the mom's like, well, okay, that's like, you can do your job, just no crossing international borders. And I just got to spend a lovely evening with my son.
Nice. That sounds like a really wholesome day, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that your Christmas actually involved jetpacks, but I mean, I'm a little jealous, I gotta be honest.
I mean, being broke out of prison is pretty cool as well. Like, that's pretty.
I mean, it was super. Like, I'm probably on a list somewhere, but.
Trolling Cody in chat says, came into the middle of this and I'm very confused. Don't worry, everyone came into the middle of this.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Everyone in chat missed that story. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, see, our chat's probably used to this kind of nonsense, but your chat's probably like, what the hell are you guys doing? Oh my gosh.
Orange just says, haven't been able to join Twitch for a long while, so hi everyone. Hey man, good to see you.
Yes, and he also subs and says hi. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Prime sub.
And so did Rabbit Sensei as well. He's got a Top Clack baby now because he's subbed for 9 months.
He asks though if he's a Top Clack baby. But no, you're having a Top Clack baby.
He has one.
Yeah. Which is like even weirder.
Expelled one from your body. Yeah.
Did anybody guess?
Yeah, Trolling Cootie got it in our chat. He says that he knew what it was. Yeah.
All right,
Santa Claus. He was confused, but he still got it. Also, shout out to Chuletas. That's man.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Are you asking your chat, or are you asking us?
I'm asking everyone.
I like that.
Dude, Mele Kalikimaka. Aloha, Dad. Ukulele, Dad.
Oh, man.
Always.
Dude, I'm doing well. I got into the festive season, I guess, officially. Went over to my parents' house.
On the 23rd.
Hey, you know, I did like the going to my parents' house and making cookies for tomorrow night for Christmas Eve with my family. Watched Santa Claus and Santa Claus 2 back to back. It was solid.
A double feature.
Dude, double feature.
It's like what? It's like 3.5 hours, right? It's just easy kickback.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Nice drink on the go, nice snacks, and away you go. I'm kind of in the festive mood. I've got some. These are called Zimstern, and these are like treats from Germany that Querdenko was kind enough to send me, and they're kind of like an aniseedy biscuit, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're really good.
Man, I need people to ship me more food.
The best one was I got a huge gift box from Gmk. I don't know if you saw this, Brian, on my Insta stories, but I got this huge gift box from Gmk that's full of Stollen and all sorts of other German treats. So I'm just swimming in German Christmas treats now. It's amazing. Like, my house just smells of like cinnamon every time I walk in the door. It's great.
God, that does sound awesome. I had some Leandrin a while back sent me some chocolate, some Norwegian chocolate, and I couldn't read it, obviously, because I don't understand the language, but it was freaking delicious, and I want more of it.
Streaking Bison, thank you very much for the 69 bits, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, yes. Same here. 69 over on our channel as well.
Oh, hilarious. That's
double
great.
69s. There we go.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Should we officially start now so that way people can understand what the heck we're trying to do right now?
No, sure. let's just do this for like an hour and a half, and then
we'll just pretend like nothing's happening, and we'll just do giveaways.
Do nothing for 90 minutes. Yeah.
Let me walk you through my favorite Christmas movie ever for the next hour. An in-depth deep dive.
An in-depth deep dive to Bad Santa. There we go. Ooh. That could be a good stream, actually.
That'd be. We'd have to really make sure that
the dark side of Christmas,
the R-rated, the click if you want to hear adult conversations.
But then you have to get like a psychiatrist to go through like the full in-depth meanings of it.
Yeah, just break down each scene and show the meanings.
Like how Kevin Malone's a sociopath.
Heyo. But no, today, this is something that, we've been talking about for the last couple weeks. Always a pleasure to have the top Clack guys over here on Mechs on Deck, dubbed Top Deck.
You guys are way fancier. I have such a cheesy name. I like information. I wasn't trying to be cheesy, but I should have been. I should have went with the Top Deck.
Upper Decker.
No, not an Upper Decker.
Upper Decker.
Yeah. Do you guys usually have an intro? Like, do you have?
I mean, Osiris typically just says, "What's up, guys? Welcome to Mechs on Deck."
Welcome to Mechs on Deck.
Okay, I won't roll our intro then. That way you guys aren't just.
Oh,
there.
you have like an intro. I'll talk during your intro just to really mess.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. That's. No, wait, no. They can't hear us during the intro.
Oh, boo.
I don't have.
Well,
I don't have it on.
They can.
Can.
Osiris stream. Yeah, they can.
Oh, that's true.
They can hear us on Mechs on Deck.
Who's trying?
We're
to
not
listen?
fancy enough.
Who's trying to listen at the same time? Because props.
Hey man, we paid for this intro. We're gonna use the intro, all right?
Heyo. Hey.
Everyone, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to do my intro.
No, I'm just gonna run it mid conversation.
I'm just sitting here talking, kind of feel insulted. All right, like first off, like I don't get invited to Top Clack.
Well, I mean, you're
so just saying, and then you're like trying to cut me off while talking through the intro. Like I get it. Message received.
Oh yeah, I am the worst kind of person. Let's just get this straight right now. So, anyways, to anyone that's confused, hello, welcome to this episode of Top Clack / Mechs on Deck. We are streaming simultaneously, so you can watch presumably the exact same content on either channel. Feel free to watch both or one or the other. We do have some giveaways lined up, and yeah, we're gonna talk about some things today. We're gonna talk about our some of our favorite and least favorite things throughout 2020, and obviously, you guys in chat, feel free to tag along and join us.
Absolutely. We got some answers from people from both of our channels and Discords about what their favorite things were, so we're going to go over that as well as all of our own, and then the giveaways. We'll talk about those real quick. Giving away over here on Mechs on Deck a built obliterated 75 proto with
That color's stunning.
Dude, it's great. It looks so good. This one, if you do win this, just letting everyone know, it has a short blocker. It is a proto, but it's the fancy purple color with some Gatoron red inks, and then just some GMK stabs. So we're giving away that. And then what else do we have, Chewy?
Oh, we have. I'm out of the drawer. Some Sibin caps. So let me hold these up. So we got some cool little monochrome artisans. We got lots of monochrome sets coming out soon. So if you guys are, well, I mean, who doesn't want an artisan that matches 90% of everything, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd call that value.
Muted round two.
Straight.
Call that value. The same artisan on every single board. I love it.
So, and on one note, if you are international shipping, we do apologize. We will require shipping payment. So if you're international and you win, or if you're international to the States during the giveaway, and you don't want to have to pay shipping, then I would not enter. As opposed to if you are willing to pay, it's all yours. Then you get a free board a board for the price of shipping.
True.
Nice.
Which is still a steal, right?
Yes. Turns out that's still really good value.
Especially when it's that color. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Okay, so from our perspective, we've got a couple of giveaways as well. So I'm just going to flick over cameras here and show you guys the first thing we've got to give away. The first thing we're going to give away is this, which is a prototype E8.5 that I got from exclusive. Caps don't come with it, I'm afraid, but you get the board, which is the same as the Chinese run, which actually has a badge that's removable and replaceable. The Western versions of this board just had this etched in, so this is quite special. But it's got a pink plate, it's got black accents, and it's an E-white board. I've had it built up for about 8 months now. So this is one of the things we give away, shipping worldwide, all included, everything. Keen to make sure someone gets their hands on that and gives it a good home.
Yeah, that is straight fire. We also have, courtesy of our wonderful moderator Iwane, a sealed set, brand new, of GMK Moondust. So lots of pretty cool things to give away today. So shout out to Iwane. I don't know if he's in chat, but we definitely appreciate donating that for the giveaway as well.
Also, shout out to Iwane for donating to Keebsmas, 12 Days of Keebsmas, which is a charity event going on right now. If you hit ! donate in our chat, it will pop up. You can still donate there, but he like right after we finished streaming, he pushed us from 750 to 1,000, which was the goal. So great to see there.
He is a complete scholar and a gentleman, as far as I'm concerned.
He also subbed for 14 months earlier, so appreciate that, as well as G Willard for subbing for 3 months with a tier 1 as well. Thanks for all of that.
Heck,
appreciate it.
Well, we have quite a few things to go over today. Do you guys think we should get on into it, or do we have something else we want to get to first?
Well, Trolling Cootie is saying that my mic's a little bit low on our.
It should be good now. It should be good now.
Okay.
I adjusted you while you were talking, and he said thank you. So hopefully we're
okay, cool.
But yeah, let me know, guys, if any of the audio is messed up. I think I have everyone balanced pretty accurately now, but if not, definitely let me know in chat.
Ditto over here.
Yeah. I don't know if there's... I have one thing to say. If you are wanting to be a streamer, even if you don't care about streaming, you just want a cool piece of technology, the PC panel, we got one in today. It literally is a Go XLR minus the mic functions. And it's like $60. So if you're looking, if that just wanted to say, this is not sponsored, old school.
But if you wanted to.
But yeah, PC panel, if you're looking for me to talk about PC panel a bunch, absolutely. But it's really, really well. And for like $60, which is at retail price, like a fifth of the price of a Go XLR Mini. And that's if you can find a Go XLR Mini for MSRP. So
that's just a good deal.
Just a shout out. I was hoping to get that yesterday, but it showed up at 7 a.m. this morning in our mailbox, which weird. Like, thanks USPS, but you know what? I get it. You're having a rough one. To talk about that on stream last night, but it's a cool little thing.
Nice. I might have to check that out. Yeah. Thank you very much to Upes for subscribing for 22 months. He says, "Sup, y'all," and then he says, "Someone needs to tell me Happy Christmas since I'm a Brit." It's Merry Christmas, dude, and a Happy New Year. But thank you, Upes. Thank you.
Are you sure it's not Happy Christmas?
I'm pretty sure over here it's not Happy Christmas. Yeah.
Have
pretty
yourself a happy little Christmas.
Yes.
I vote for the change. Let's do it.
Hey, I mean,
let's start it here.
There's nothing wrong with happy, right? It's a good thing.
I'm pretty sure that song in the UK is actually a Merry Little Christmas as well. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say happy one.
No, it is.
Oh,
yeah, it is definitely.
Totally okay. Merry Christmas. Like that was the joke.
You were confusing me then. You were doing me a
which is why Upas is telling you Happy Christmas, Jay.
I just like to think that some like king or some like politician like a long time ago was like, no, I dated some bitch named Mary. Like, we're going with happy, and it's like, okay.
Whatever you say, Butts.
Why was her name spelled MERRY?
Made a very nice dinner, like super awkward.
You like it says we should say it's a jolly Christmas. Yeah, maybe. I don't mind a jolly Christmas. That's all right.
Jolly, happy, merry. Why would anyone be upset about these things? Come on.
Merry Christmas.
As long as you have a good time, it doesn't matter. Right? That's what it is.
Yes. Zui, thank you so much for the tier 1, guys. 19 months.
Zui says yee.
Yee. He says yee.
That's quite funny.
Yeah. Yee.
G. Will said Mechs on Deck top Clack Christmas album when. your boy
Oh, wait.
wrote a Christmas song the other day.
Really?
In the style of keyboards.
Are we going to hear it today?
I don't know if I can't sing it because, like, DMCA, I'm sure it's copywritten somewhere. But because it's to the tune of my favorite things. And I might post the lyrics. And then you guys can Google my favorite things karaoke and sing along to it. Actually, even better, you guys should record yourselves singing along and post it on Discords, because I would love to see that.
Yeah, if you sang it a cappella, you'd be okay.
Yeah,
exactly. If you just used a DMCA backing track, it would get caught. But we could also just make the instrumentals. We have the technology to do that at some point.
Technology. It's true. You like it in chat says, never mind, I dated a girl named Jolly. Oh, that's fantastic.
I love the callback.
Yeah, that's perfection, man. Perfection. Oh man. Anyway, we should start talking about some of our favorites and some of our least favorite things that went through this year, because we have quite a few things to go through.
Yeah, we've got a few topics, a few different things, and there's some interesting bits in here as well. Some are going to need an explanation, I think. Some are going to need some explanation.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Chewy.
Chewy,
dude. That's fine. I'll come out swinging, man.
Oh,
so where do y'all want to start? Which one do you think you wanna start with?
You want to work our way back?
Yeah, let's start with the non-keyboard stuff and work our way back, maybe.
All right.
What? If we work our way back, though, we're starting out the top things we're looking forward to, and literally all of us put keyboard stuff.
So we should do IHG, then then
I,
B C D E F, and then
over.
J at the end. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right.
And we're gonna make this even more confusing. We're gonna snake it. All right. So I'll start, and then Jay will finish, and then Jay will start, and we'll go back up. Snake draft. All right. Top beers or drinks of 2020.
Join us in chat, by the way, guys. If you want to kind of tag along with our categories, let us know what your top drink or top 3 drinks were for 2020.
Yeah, and we did. So we took some info from the form that we sent out. We took some info from that, so we'll go over that as well at the end of each little section. So mine, Nitro Merlin, is a stout. I wish I was drinking one right now, but I'm having quite a bit of tooth pain tonight, and so I had to take some ibuprofen. And well, you're not really supposed to mix alcohol and drugs. And then next up is this wine that's called Ixer wine. I think it's like Greek, maybe. I don't. Lebanese, that's what she said. And then Dallas Blonde is my go-to beer. Those are I did 3 alcoholic beverages. I'd probably put cold brew on there because I love cold brew.
Nice.
So wait, who's supposed to go next, Chewy, on your idea? Me?
You.
Okay. So for me, I also did 3 alcoholic beverages because I took the lead that Chewy set. So I think over here on Mechs on Deck, we are just a bunch of alcoholics.
You guys,
just drinking away the holidays.
My top beer is Deep Ellum IPA. It's not crazy fancy. It's super easy to get around here because it's a local beer, but you can probably find it at Total Wine if you got one of those near you. It's super good. It's like a West Coast style IPA. It's really good. Ardbeg 10.
Total Wine is to me.
Ooh.
It's probably 3,000 miles, right?
I wonder if they might actually have distribution overseas, because they've done work with distilleries over in with whiskey distilleries and stuff over in Europe. So they might have distribution over there. Who knows? I'm a big fan of whiskey. I have quite a bit of whiskey back behind me. One of my favorites this year of the Isla variant, which is my favorite, is Ardbeg 10. My father got me a bottle of that, and I've been very much enjoying that. And then for Japanese whiskey, which is close second for me, Hibiki Harmony. It is something that I cannot put down.
Hibiki Harmony. I've had Hibiki, but I don't think I've had the Harmony version.
It's good. It's like super easy to drink. It's like sweet, but not too sweet. Like it's not like screwball peanut butter whiskey where you're like, this isn't even whiskey.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man, that reminds me of when Fireball came out, and everyone became like whiskey aficionados because they're like, I drink Fireball. Like, it's basically a liqueur. It's like a cinnamon liqueur. Like, it's not like the same as other whiskeys.
I can hear the I'm not a gatekeeper.
I'm not a gatekeeper, except when it comes to whiskey and Fireball.
I feel like Fireball's not even like in the whiskey section at a liquor store though.
Fireball
like,
is Fireball,
not, right?
That's my thing. Is Fireball is Fireball. No one's pouring a neat Fireball and sipping it next to a fire. They're just shooting.
Worrying about bruising.
Tell that to some of the people out here.
Icing, right?
It's a shooting drink.
I mean, if you like Fireball, that's fine. Nothing against that. But like, Fireball is not the same caliber of spirit as like a proper whiskey, and it drives me nuts.
Don't drink it and say you're a whiskey drinker, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm having a conversation with someone and they're like, "Yeah, I really love whiskey," I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's your favorite whiskey?" And they're like, "Fireball." I'm gonna be like,
"I've had that.
This conversation is over."
No joke. 3 times I've had that conversation now. 3 times, 3 different people. I don't know, man. I can't.
Gio, thank you very much for the 5-2-1 gift subs, dude. Thank you very much for those, and congrats to everyone in chat who got one of those gift subs. Thank you.
Thank you, Gio.
Gio.
All right, so I guess am I next? Is that how this works?
You are next.
So
you are next, and then I'm last. Yeah.
So I got really creative here because obviously I don't drink much alcohol these days, so I kind of cut that out of my life for the most part. So I don't really have top beers or alcoholic beverages for 2020. However, I'd like to give a shout out to my top choice, which is water. Stay hydrated, r/hydro homies. It's the best drink there is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, second on my list is agua, which of course is Spanish for water. Also a phenomenal drink. Highly recommend it. And third, just behind agua, is H2O. So you take 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. You mix that together, and you got yourself quite an elixir of life. Let me tell you. It's just fantastic. Rabbit Sensei gets it. Bless water. You know. So there you go. My top 3 drinks. Honorable mention to tea.
all of you guys have mentioned water though, because every single drink you mentioned has water in it. So
exactly,
that's true.
We're all hydro homies.
Not Gio. Thank you for the 5 subs. Also on Mechs on deck, sharing the love across.
What a legend!
It takes a real legend to watch both streams.
It does,
especially when they're.
My favorite part about Not Gio is his desire to always let me know to keep telling people to buy Switch testers. Because Not Gio said it was very important to him that people know how glorious Switch testers are and how much he thinks that you can get the full experience out of a keyboard by using a Switch tester.
Can we refund his gift subs?
Upas came in 12 months. Thanks for the 1 year, Upas. Says I disagree with Not Gio.
Fair enough. Okay, right. So my turn then. My 3 favorite drinks of 2020. The first is kind of like my go-to whiskey for the weekend, which is Lagavulin. Specifically the 96 Distillers Editions. This is like a 24-year old bottle, or it's been aged for 24 years, and it's just, if you want a single malt whiskey, it's just the cream of the crop for me. But 1 glass and that's enough for the night for me. Like a good 2 fingers, I'm generally done. So if I want more of a session whiskey, the second one on my list from this year is Bruichladdich Black Art, which is a 94 bottle as well. So those are the 2 for me. And then the third one, because I'm constantly drinking it these days, is coffee. So, yeah, there we go.
Nice.
So yeah, coffee, beer took the top of the list. Although a bunch of people, well, I laughed because I misspelled the word favorite multiple times on our Google Doc.
That's my favorite part of the doc, by the way.
The word coffee was misspelled 5 separate times in the
Nice.
and this form with one F. So I appreciate y'all for forgetting the F key. Coffee won with an astounding 8 votes over the next, which was beer for 4. So lots of water and Coke and whiskey and horchata was on there along with White Claw.
Oh wow, nice.
White Claw, even interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
One
really
for you,
looked up
Brian.
answers.
Spindrift is on here.
Spindrift is on there?
kind of
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Spindrift. Spindrift actually is pretty awesome. I've been getting a little bit more into sparkling waters.
Big shout out to Gion, who's in our chat as well. Hey man, good to see you. And Morgan Carver, who says, "Sorry if it's late. I've just joined. Jay, you're looking fit. Where is the Clack cat sweater?" So it's actually in the wash right now because I want to wear it on Christmas Day. So I wore it for my stream the other day, but it's in the wash right now, so I can wear it.
Yeah. So now we are moving on to the topic of favorite shows, movies, whatever you binged during. This is 2020. It doesn't have to be from 2020, but just something that you watched, especially while you were like, what saved you while you were in lockdown?
Yeah, I feel like that's a better way to ask this particular question.
Am I starting on this one? Or are we snaking back up with?
Yeah, we're snaking
okay.
back up. So you're starting this one.
Gotcha. Okay, so first one for me this year was Umbrella Academy. I didn't watch season 1 when season 1 came out, but when season 2 came out, I watched it all back to back, all the way through, and I was kind of blown away by how good it was. So that's my first one. The second one is The Mandalorian. I haven't seen all of the second season yet, so please don't spoil it for me if you have. I'm about halfway through at the minute, but I've just been thoroughly enjoying Pedro Pascal's performance in that. I think he's amazing. And then the third one, which is a bit of a surprise for me, for a lot of people, I would guess, is Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I watched this on Brian and about 1,000 other people's recommendations over the course of summer. And do you know what? I went into it not expecting to enjoy it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through. So really enjoyed that. Korra is next on my list of things to watch.
You'll enjoy Korra too, I bet.
Secret Tunnel. So like the best. That's the second best episode.
Yeah, that show. The thing about that show is, I was the same way. Like I was like, there's no way this could be good. It's just like a kid's show, right? And I feel like that's actually the right mindset to go in with it because it'll blow your mind even more.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a kid show, and it didn't feel like what I expected anime to be in that kind of sense. It felt.
First off, it's not anime.
I don't know.
And I will argue this to the death.
People say it is, and people say it isn't, and whatever. I don't care about the arguments.
I only bring that up because the Pokemon kid in chat is asking if you're a weeb now, Jay.
No, I'm not weeb. No.
So Quakeums, you were up.
Yes. So mine's a little interesting as well. Towards the beginning of the lockdown, I really started rewatching for probably the 5th time Futurama, which is without a doubt one of my all-time favorite shows, just overall, not just whenever I watch it or whatever year I watch it, but Futurama, man. And every time I watch it throughout, I learn like something new. Like I noticed like a detail, and every time I watch it, it's just an absolute joy, and I just have so much fun. And I start to finish, man, I just grind that, and it was really enjoyable. That's kind of how I started my my lockdown. The second show on my list is something I actually just started recently on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil. And I'm a big fan of food shows, and this one isn't particularly special in terms of like the premise. It's just a guy that travels the world and eats food, and it's a docuseries effectively. And but this one kind of got to me because it's surprisingly like happy and wholesome, and I really like that, and I feel like I really needed that during this lockdown. So highly recommend Somebody Feed Phil. That was just it's been an absolute joy. I was watching an episode like literally an hour and a half ago before the stream. Like I'm really enjoying it. And finally on my list is obviously this one finished in 2020, but it started in like 2008, which was Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And I didn't watch that when it came out. Despite being a pretty big Star Wars fan, I wasn't sure how much I was going to like it, so I kind of just forgot about it. And my girlfriend and I recently, throughout 2020, have been rewatching The Clone Wars, and we just caught up not that long ago, and my god, that show is great. Totally worth it. If anyone has any interest in watching it and hasn't yet, highly suggest. The last season was spectacular.
Absolutely. For me, it was much like Jay. I had never seen Avatar. We went through all of last year, Mizu, Terra, plus the sets that have run this year. Mizu, like a bajillion times.
Mizu.
Yeah. I'd never watched Avatar. We had Rinsuya on a couple times, and Chewie and Rin were talking about Avatar, and I'm like, this is just completely over my head.
Another language.
Obviously, they put it on Netflix, and I watched it. I watched the whole series in like 4 days, which was like full on binge. Like wake up, watch as much as I can until I went to bed, and then the next day went to it. And then I really enjoyed it. I immediately proceeded to watch the movie right after I finished the final season, which was a giant disappointment. And I was like actually mad. It was like one of those times I've never had that kind of anger towards a movie until I watched that directly after finishing Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I've not seen that movie.
I haven't either, but I've heard nothing but terrible things.
Don't watch it.
There is no movie
your
called
recommendation
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Skip it.
Just skip it. Just don't even entertain it. Just pretend it doesn't.
There is no movie called Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just like there is no war in Ba Sing Se.
There is no war in
movie
Ba Sing
called
Se.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It is unprecedented levels of bad. Like from the very beginning, the entire portrayal of just about every character is wrong. Like it's just so awful.
Yeah, it's
fair enough.
It doesn't seem very good.
Who is your favorite character then, Osiris? Who did you enjoy watching?
In from Avatar, man.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's easy. It's Toph.
I'm
Toph's
wait-
a fucking
Toph.
badass.
I'm waiting.
That's the thing.
I'm waiting
It's
for
hard.
chat to explode with Uncle Iroh.
Iroh was going to be mine. That's I don't know if that's
There's
like
just
a standardized answer.
Iroh's great, but he's not. I mean, because the voice actor passes away, he's like barely in the third season. He's just like, he just gets ripped and then shows up. And so, spoilers: Uncle Iroh works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I don't know. It's
Toph's
hard.
a great character too. I mean, the
Yeah, I
show's just
think Toph.
packed with good characters. I like Sokka too.
Yeah, Sokka's good. Like he has a lot of personal growth throughout the series.
Yeah.
Like he really
Good
finds his
character
place.
arc. Yeah.
When he becomes like a
Yeah.
swordsman, and he's under that one guy in the Fire Nation or whatever. Oof.
And then he loses his sword.
See, I see
get-
shit.
Well, you can't
I
with the
see
ball.
shit like that with like. So I'll watch. Like the newest Star Wars trilogy, right? And there's a lot of, it's very similar with the Star Wars trilogy and Kylo Ren with Zuko and Avatar: The Last Airbender. One of them did it amazingly, and I'll hold my tongue for the rest of that.
I'm not convinced Kylo Ren is a bad. This is obviously a topic for another time, but I'm not convinced Kylo Ren is as bad of a character as people think he is. I like the fact that it was like actually that bad.
I think that he did a really good job, and I think that what was given, he did a great job.
Yeah.
But it's not even the first and third; it's the second. But anyway, we'll talk.
That's another time.
You and I will scream at each other.
Yeah, but we can argue about this another time. I want to give a quick shout out though. We have a couple subs came in. Ray, shout out to the Raging Asian, 33-month streak. He's asking, is this one of those simulcasts? Yes, basically.
Absolutely. Whatever that is. I don't know. But yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. We are both broadcasting simultaneously, so we'll loosely use that term. Ione is gifting a tier 1 sub to Tyson as well. So thank you very much, man. He's hit 255 gift subs.
That's crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy.
This guy.
Damn. So my top.
I haven't finished.
I'm sorry.
I did one. I did
okay.
one.
Yeah, he's got
dude.
2 more to go.
No, we have to argue about this.
All right, listen. All right, Eric, I will come over and slap you.
Listen,
Whoa,
I
from
got
6 feet
about
away?
25 minutes to figure out how to hide. No, number 2 is a show that I watched with the boys. Some of the guys in our chat, some of the guys in your chat, and Brian,
Yeah.
we watched this together. Initial D.
I don't know how this made your list, but all right.
Dude, because it was something that I looked forward to every night,
It was fun.
regardless of if it was good or not. It was just fun.
It was fun because it was just
Nice.
hanging out with the boys watching silly anime.
But see, that sounds like a good time, and even if the show's not the best, like just because it's a good time, that's a good reason to have it on your list.
Yeah. It was good times.
So-
It was good times. No, I mean, the show was far from the best. That show went downhill quick. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
first season great.
First season
Well,
was
not
pretty good.
great. First season was good. Second season was pretty okay, and then it
The
was just
movie
like,
was comedically bad.
yes.
I'm not going to bring up any of the scenes because it's NSFW, but man, that movie was bad.
And then last but not least in my top 3 will be The Last Dance. I grew up a big Michael Jordan fan, so that was really cool to see. My brother's much older than me, so he was a kid throughout the entire run of the Bulls, and I was young at the tail end of it. So yeah, it was really cool to see that. And I think if you're someone who's big into sports or big into just like teamwork or like really pretty much anything, watching that gives you a whole new like respect for the competitive nature of people.
Basically, if you just boss people into saying I'm better than you, so be better, you'll win 6 championships.
Heyo.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, Chewy, now you can go.
Honestly, I forget that kind of happened this year, but I've watched it like 5 times through. Number 1, Mandalorian. It just towards the tail. And this is kind of recency bias because it just wrapped up. These aren't really, I guess, in any particular order. If I had to put one up, Queen's Gambit was amazing. To me, that is one of the best because it's start to finish, right? It's 8 episodes. They're not doing. It's not like there's not a cliffhanger. It ends. It wraps up, and they told a great story. It's about chess. I never thought I would ever care about a TV show about chess, but it had a lot of people in that show that I liked, that I respect their other work. So I thought that was great. And then Umbrella Academy as well. I thought that was a fantastic TV show. And I am a huge history buff. And so the way the second season really tied into American history was like, I was literally jumping out of my chair like, what the fuck? like when they did some reveals. So looking at the sheet, I think we had The Mandalorian was on there quite a bit as the best shows to watch. Schitt's Creek. I know a lot of people talk about Schitt's Creek. I've personally never seen it. Ozark, It's Always Sunny, Westworld, Mandalorian again. The Boys, that's another great.
The Boys is pretty good.
The Boys is solid.
I debated putting that in my top 3 because I just got done with season 2. I thought season 1 was better than season 2, which is why I didn't put it in my top 3.
I'm torn because there are just other things. Quite as you and I just
we can argue about other things later. It's like
we'll start a movie and TV show podcast. How about that?
and we'll just argue against each other the entire time.
Avengers series, great. Step Brothers, another good one. So all good ones. So next up on the list, I will start off. I love Thai fried rice. I had it a shit ton.
We're doing food if you guys didn't realize.
Yeah, top food. Top food.
Man, I was just excited to tell everybody about it.
Hey man, fried rice excites me too,
Thai
don't
fried
worry.
rice. So there's a place that we go to locally, and we got it a bunch during break because we were like, we need to be supporting the local food restaurants because I don't want this place to get shut down. So that's how I justified ordering that shit all the time. Second, I put a hot sauce on here. Secret Aardvark habanero hot sauce is amazing. And definitely made the just godly amounts of eggs that I had over the quarantine. Because I got to wake up, like, for 5 months, I got to wake up and make breakfast every day. So lots of hot sauces. And my wife figured out how to make Torchy's fried avocado tacos homemade. And they're godly.
I assume Torchy's is like a chain out there.
Yeah, it's like a
restaurant.
Taco shop.
It's a fancy, it's a bougie taco place. It's not like street tacos. It's like kind of like gourmet.
Bougie's
tacos.
a good word. That's fine. You can say bougie.
It's like it was like a taco truck when it first started, and then it grew. It grew and grew and grew, and now it's like they've got a whole bunch of them around Texas. Started in Austin, so it's very good, very good.
Nice.
I guess I'm up. So speaking of Torchy's,
I like
something they have that's amazing is their queso. And for me, it's not just their queso that I enjoy. It's just queso in general. I am a big fan of queso. So that's my number one. Two is something that there was one day I was playing games with Mr. Quakums and some other friends, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to order from a restaurant, and I was like, should I get Korean food? And Quakums was like, yeah, dude. And I was like, what should I get? And he's like, have you ever had bibimbap? And I had not. So I got bibimbap, and now it's like one of my favorite things. I get it at least
good.
Once every couple weeks.
It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's basically just like a bed of steamed rice, and it'll have a bunch of different vegetables on it, and usually meat. And then like a lot of the vegetables will have different preparations. Some will be pickled, some will be like sautéed, et cetera, et cetera. And then it'll usually come with gochujang, which is like a Korean chili paste. It's like a really deep, rich, meaty, earthy flavor, and you kind of just mix that in, and it's just absolutely delicious. And it's like really healthy too, like as far as food goes.
Yeah, super, super good. And then last but not least is something that I have created and dubbed the ABC during quarantine. It was my meal of choice. And it's basically, you get some toast, put some cream cheese on it, then you put some avocado and a couple slices of bacon.
I knew that's what I actually didn't know beforehand what that stood for. And like a minute ago, I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, I bet that's like avocado, bacon, and cheese.
Dude, avocado, bacon, and cream cheese. It is so good.
So you mean to tell me if you take bread and you put fat, and fat on it, it's gonna be good?
It's like when you're like thinking that you want to do keto, but you're not ready to give up bread yet.
Yeah. No, that actually sounds amazing. I love avocado and bacon and any kind of cheese. So this would be a sign me up.
Dude, I would eat it like every day. Like that was like my lunch for most days. Is that with a cut up like bell pepper.
Nice. You gotta be health conscious when you have fat on toast. I love it.
Avocado is the good kind of fat, dude.
Oh man. All right, I guess it's my turn, and mine's a little interesting actually. So the first thing on my list, and this is definitely the pinnacle. This is the best thing I've had all year. This is from my favorite Vietnamese place nearby. I haven't had it in a while because obviously COVID, unfortunately. But towards the beginning of the year, they put out this dish, and I'm going to completely butcher the name, so I apologize in advance. But it's Hu Tu Nam Yang, and basically it's like a soup. At least at the place I had it, it's basically a soup that is like a celebration of pork. And I love pork. So like it's a pork bone based like broth that's like really rich and kind of fatty. And then it has some roast pork on it. It has some ground pork. It has fried pork fat, and it has a pork spare rib in it. And if you're familiar with pho, it's not terribly different. But if pho was like just completely themed around pork, that's kind of what this is, and it's just so rich and delicious, and I'm like salivating right now just thinking about it. I
What's
think.
funny is you're saying, oh, it's bread with fat. I'm like,
Oh
no,
no! Hey man, I'll take it as well as I can give it. That's fine.
moral of
That's
the
fine.
story here is fat is good.
It's delicious. I mean, fat's flavor, right? Like that's what makes a lot of meats
Yeah.
good.
It's the sixth flavor.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
It's not on my list, but one of my favorite things is like belly pork, where you get a really thick layer of fat on top, and you just slice it up nice into thin.
Yes.
Yeah, love a bit of belly pork. Yeah, sorry, Brian, go on.
No, you're
What's
good.
next?
You're good. Dude, I could talk about food all day. I don't care. So yeah, that's just like really the highlight for me. And this place is like 3 of the 5 best things I've ever had in my life come from this place. So it's really special to me. Next up on my list is something I actually just had recently for the very first time. I tried a new place, a new place around me, and they had kimchi fried rice. And I was like, I'm like whatever about fried rice. I've eaten a lot of fried rice in my life, and like I like it, but it doesn't usually excite me. But the way this place did it was just so incredible, and I'm a really big fan of kimchi these days. So like to be able to try like that flavor profile together was really good. It also has bacon in it, so it's a kimchi and bacon fried rice. And it has like this adorable. They use like a ring mold. This is like a kind of a slightly fancier place, so like they use like a ring mold for an egg. So you get like this perfectly like fried egg, circular egg on top, and it's just always like the perfect runny yolk.
Nice.
And you just break that in, you kind of mix it in with the fried rice, and it's just an absolute joy. And the third thing on my list, which really surprised me, was sous-vide mashed potatoes. So I've been getting a little bit more into sous vide lately, which is a phenomenal cooking method. And you might be thinking like mashed potatoes, like that's stupid. Like that doesn't even make sense. And like how would that ever be better? But I'm telling you, man, you just cut up some potatoes, you put them in a vacuum sealed bag with some cream, some milk, a little butter, whatever herbs and seasonings you want, some salt, some pepper, and you sous vide that. And when you're done, you just undo the vacuum seal on the bag. You separate it, you mash potatoes, and you mix back the liquid, and you just like mix it all back, and then taste and season more if you need to. But like, it was insane. I did not expect that level of difference. And I've been eating mashed potatoes all sorts of ways my entire life. And this one, like, I had to stop and like really rethink how I've been eating potatoes my whole life. So
wow.
Definitely suggest giving that a try if you ever pick up a sous vide, any of you guys.
Sous vide actually features on my list as well, because we got sous vide right at the start of lockdown in this year. We've done mashed potatoes in it as well, Brian. I agree with you. The trick that my wife found is that you don't bother separating them afterwards. You just mash it in the bag. You let all of the air out of the bag. You mash it in the bag with your hands, and then you get nice little bits of chunk and stuff. It's not too smooth that way. It's just nice and almost like crushed potatoes rather than.
I tend to like a smoother mashed potato personally. So
sure. Yeah.
So I do feel you. Sometimes you want some chunks.
Yeah, but the sous vide for us, the big revelation for that was steak. Just doing meat in a sous vide is just absolutely phenomenal. So that's number 3 on my list. But sous vide steak, just amazing. You put it in the sous vide, 55 degrees for however long. I don't know the time, so wife does this. And you take it out and you fry it for 30 seconds on each side on a hot skillet just to char the outside. Oh, it's divine. The fat renders down nicely and everything else is just amazing. So, sous vide gets a big thumbs up this year.
Yeah, sous vide with the reverse sear. Yeah, it's the play.
Yeah, it's good. It's good eats. The next one was Korean barbecue, and I really miss going out for Korean barbecue. One of my favorite things to do after work with the guys from work, sometimes was, instead of going home for dinner, was just to go to this local Korean barbecue place, and I thoroughly miss it. Like, just haven't been for good Korean barbecue in so long. It's kind of getting depressing now. I can't remember the last time I ate out for dinner. Like, I've had takeaway and stuff like that, but I haven't actually been to a restaurant in probably over a year. And considering we used to go 2-3 times a month to this place, it's like getting withdrawal symptoms. So Korean barbecue is high up on my want list right now. And then at number 1 is what's called railway lamb curry. So I'm a big fan of Indian cuisine. And I've got some friends who are from India, and one of their families came over right at the beginning of the year, just as the whole COVID thing was kicking off in January. And he actually works on the railways in India. And what his job is he's called a dabawala or something like that. And they have this whole... I assume in the US, right, you guys will take a packed lunch to work with you sometimes, or whatever. Or you'll have had it when you were a kid, where your mum makes you pack up and you take a little paper bag to school with your work or whatever, and you have your lunch in it.
Sure.
Well, India kind of has this whole different way of doing it. You go off to work as normal, and your wife will cook you a hot meal, and she'll put it in a canteen. And these dabawalas will come around to all the houses. They'll collect all of these canteens, and then they'll put them on the trains, and they'll deliver your hot food to you. And then they'll take the canteens back, and they'll take it home. So you get your hot food pretty much there and ready, quite quickly. And it's literally home cooked by your wife usually, or there's some cooking services as well. But it's like this whole lunchtime delivery network that India has that nowhere in the world does, apart from India, on the trains. And this guy, a friend of mine, his relative does this as a job. This is what he does. So he made us what was called railway curry, or what he called railway curry. And it was like, it used lamb that fell off the bone, and it was spicy. It was full of tamarind and all sorts of the spices, a little bit of coconut. This amazingly rich rice that he did. And it was just, as a lover of Indian food, it just blew my mind how good that was. And I'm thinking, these guys get this for their lunch, and I've waited 35 years of my life to try this, and it's like I'd be missing out. It's crazy.
God, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm a big fan of Indian food as well. Definitely one of my favorite cuisines.
Langalandia is dropping links to it in our chat. He's like, they're incredible. They're a Six Sigma organization, and they have no computerization whatsoever. Yeah, this is true. Like, I was speaking to the guy that does this in India, and he's like, how do you make sure the right meal gets to the right person? He's like, oh, we just know, and we just communicate, and we just talk. And it's like, they don't have any spreadsheets, they don't have any forms, they don't have any paperwork. They just know whose canister is whose, and they pick it up from the right place and drop it off to the right person. It's really crazy.
That is pretty wild. Quick shout out to Wave Depth, who subs tier 1 for 5 months. Says, Merry Christmas, guys. I've been doing Sous-Vide for about 3 years now. Whenever I tell people about it, I get a funny look. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of... Still, there's probably quite a few people that aren't familiar with what Sous-Vide is. But it's definitely gaining a lot of popularity. And it's amazing. You can cook, like, almost anything Sous-Vide, too. It's just so...
Cereal.
Yeah, dude. If you cook cereal, you could absolutely sous vide cereal.
Shout outs to Sikawa for the tier 1 a few minutes ago, and then Nathan Alphaman just gave out 5 gifted. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that.
Nice. Heck yeah. Over here we have Octagon with a tier 1 for 15 months. Thank you so much, Octagon. All right.
Okay, where are we going next then, guys?
Everything left is keyboard related.
Food, but now it's time to get a little spicy. Now it's time to start. It's time to start throwing some cheap shots. So this next topic, your 3 least favorite builds, as all 4 of us from time to time don't have a perfect experience building the keyboard. This isn't to say that the board is bad. This is that the build experience from starts to finish was annoying, whereas the actual finished product might still be very good. But getting there is a trip and a half.
Sure.
And we'll try and explain why these are in this position on our list as well as we go through.
It's worth... I'm glad you pointed that out, by the way, Chewy. It's because people could totally take this out of context, thinking that we're talking shit about these boards. But no, Chewy's right. We're the end result and the journey there can absolutely be independent of each other, and you can love a board, but absolutely
sometimes it might even be like on one of mine. It's not even the board's fault. Yeah. There are other aspects of it, but I want to give out 10 gifted subs to Mechs on Deck. Thank you very much.
Nice.
He's going in today. Yeah.
He's going hard. So, Jay, you are starting on the least favorite builds.
Yeah. Okay. So the 3 on my list are, the first one is the KFE. Now, the reason why this is on my list is this isn't a board I built on stream, actually. It's one I did for a customer who categorically asked me to not build it on stream. And the reason they asked me to not build it on stream was because of the type of switch they wanted to put into it. So I'd got this wonderful KFE board here in my workshop that looked fantastic. It looked great. It looked really, really good. It had everything going for it. And then he sent a certain switch, and it just completely ruined the build for me because it meant that I couldn't tell how the board would sound or really feel like in real-world usage. That switch, Cherry MX Blues.
Oof. A true classic, though.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds like a man of culture.
Yeah.
Or woman of
Um,
culture.
I mean, what's funny is like you say that, but like it wasn't that long ago, only a couple years, where like a lot of people building Korean customs, like really nice, like heralded Korean customs, would use Cherry MX
Yeah.
Blues.
I mean, box navies were not that long ago.
yeah.
when I
it's-
got my VEA in, which is arguably a relatively sought after board, that was built with MX Blues as well, and that's the original Vietnamese version of the board. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
yeah. like,
Anyway, the second one on my list, again, it's on my list for a reason, not because I dislike the board, but for a completely separate reason, and that's the Iron 165. And the reason this is on my list is because I've now built 19 of them, and I'm kind of sick of seeing them. Like, they keep coming into the workshop, and people keep asking me to build them, and it's a lovely board. I have mine just literally off camera to the side, and I absolutely adore them. But I've seen so many of them now that I just kind of like, I don't want to build anymore. So that's why that's on my list. And then the final one is a Key Cult number 2. And the reason that this is on the list is because the guy that sent it to me, when he sent it, he didn't ship it. So this is again, this is one that we did off stream, but he commissioned a board, or he bought a board, I'm not sure what, and he had it Cerakoted elsewhere or something. But it wasn't like the stock one. He'd clearly paid time and attention to get it right. And then when he shipped it to me, he didn't ship it in the original box or packaging or anything, and he just wrapped it in brown paper and put it in a cardboard box. And when it came, the whole bottom plate that sits on the bottom of the number 2 was just scuffed and scratched, and the cardboard had clearly been dented, and it had got a hole in it. It rattled around inside the box. The corners were all dented and stuff like that. The plate was bent. Something had slammed on the plate and sort of bent it.
oh no.
And I had to be the one to break that news to this poor guy who'd got this couple of $1,000 board, and I had to break the news to him that the way he'd packed it and shipped it to me just meant that as soon as I'd opened it, it was in, it wasn't in the state that he sent it to me in. And that was a really, really unhappy situation for me. The actual build went fine. There was nothing wrong with the build, but it was like, it's just tied back to this really unhappy situation where I had to take some pictures and then share with this guy that his pride and joy was just not in the condition he wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's not a fun scenario.
No, that was going to be on stream until we saw the damage when we opened it, and then
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I guess I'm up next, huh? So for me, I'm gonna start with the Ogre. And the only reason the Ogre was not a very good build for me is because I think it's the first board I've ever streamed that I couldn't actually complete on stream. So if any of you caught my build stream I did, I think it was, a week and a half ago now at this point, somewhere around there. I tried to start building an Ogre. It's not mine, it's for someone else, and the included stabilizers that they sent along with it, which are just some Duroc stabilizers, they're actually way too big for the plate. So they can't actually go into the plate. So I started this build stream, and I'm like, I had the PCB tested, it was doing well, I put the stabilizers on, I go to test the stabilizers, I put the plate on, it's a no-go. It just straight up will not go on, and I took my calipers to them, and lo and behold, these particular Duroc stabilizers were quite a bit larger than Cherry and even other Duroc stabilizers that I was testing on stream. So it was a very weird situation. So again, it's not the Ogre's fault, it's the stabilizers at this point, because Cherry stabilizers did work. But that board requires snap-ins. You can't use screw-in on that particular build because of the way the gasket works. So I didn't have anything on standby, so I just had to not build the board, and it was a rough moment because I was like halfway through a build stream at that point, and I had to just cancel it, and it was a real bummer. I have since then received new stabilizers. He has provided more, and I'm going to be building that up again with hopefully no issues in the next week or so. So look forward to that if anyone wants to watch me hopefully not struggle with an Ogre for a second time. Nice. Because the board is probably going to be lovely. I think it definitely has a lot of potential. Next up was the IDB60, another board I really like. I love typing on it. It's one of the best boards in my collection, in my opinion. However, anytime I have to Dremel a PCB, it's automatically a bad experience for me. And of course, I had to Dremel a couple spots on that just to make sure it fit in the plate, which I did. not very neatly, but functionally. So so yeah, if I have to take a Dremel to something, it's usually one of the worst builds I've ever done. Maybe I'm just privileged. And last but not least was the Southpaw full size. And this build process actually went fairly well. It was just, I don't like building large boards. That was not the worst part of it. But the worst part of it was, it just gave me like zero enjoyment when I was done. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, because usually when I finish a build, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm like, this is sweet. I want to use this for, you know, a week and, you know what this is all about. But with the Southpaw, I was kind of dejected after the build. It just didn't feel very good. It didn't sound very good. And I was just kind of disappointed and bummed out about it. So even though nothing necessarily went wrong with that build, just my level of dissatisfaction after I completed it. And maybe it's not the board's fault. Maybe it was just the configuration I was using, but it just wasn't for me. And I was way sadder than I needed to be for that one. What about you, Osiris?
Yeah, what's up?
No, continue.
Oh, okay. For me, number, I guess we'll go 3, will be the Clavier macro pad. And I know that I'm not the only one to have had issues with that on stream. There's been a couple other people who have had issues where, you know, you go to plug in the Pro Micro and it's just not flashed. It's not already set up to be for a keyboard, which I ended up just saying, you know what, I'm not going to really ever use this thing, so screw it. Like, so I'm just going to keep it, and it's just a like a desk ornament. Now, there's actually nothing wrong with the macro pad itself. Actually putting the switches in, getting the macro pad on there was fine. It's frustrating. Like Quakums was saying, when you have a build that you can't finish, you can't get it working, you're like, you feel kind of dumb. I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, and I'm like, how long am I going to sit here streaming while I'm struggling trying to figure out how to get this to work? And I just was like, you know what, screw it. It looks good and everything is in place. I'll figure it out later. And then I was just like, you know what, screw it. Number 2 for me is one that's going to be, I think, a surprise for a lot of people. And this has nothing to do with the board itself. It's actually not even the company's fault at all in any way, shape, or form. And that was a TGR 910 CE that I built early this year. That board was using a third-party run PCB and FR4 plate combo that had been run in the latter half of 2019, which for me, I think PCBs that have been run in the last 2 years shouldn't need washers on the stabilizers in order to have the entire PCB work. I think that that's a pretty okay standard to have for PCBs in 2019 and 2020. And that one did. And it was something that I didn't even think about. It didn't cross my mind. And I had a whole column just not even work. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then finally someone was like, try washers. And I was like, okay. And then it worked. So that was one that it was super frustrating. It was kind of embarrassing because it's something that's super simple and is something that I was very used to doing. You know, when I first started building, everyone was like, oh, you got to use washers to make sure that there's no shorts. But I was used to not having to do that anymore. And then number 1 will be the Canoe. I built Canoe earlier this year with Aqua Xylence. And the Real Lippy talked about it in chat. I could not get the switches into the plate. For whatever reason, they just would not go in.
One of those builds.
Like it was literally shaving off corners of the switches as I pushed them in.
We got it done. Just like off stream. Well, I was just I was so frustrated. I remember getting like lots of angry, aggressive PMs from us. I was like, dude, fuck this build. I was like, what are we gonna do? I was like, you know what, dude? I'll be over tomorrow morning. I'll grab the board. And you'll never have to see this ever again in your life.
Well, and I got it to work, but then I was like, wasn't happy with it because like the switches weren't all fully set
the plate
into the
was
plate
like,
completely.
the plate looked like an S.
Yeah,
It was
and
just-
so
just for fucking
yeah.
everything up.
thank God we had at that point we had already purchased our FR301 that we got because it made it so much easier. But yeah, that board was awful.
Mhm. Yeah, that was rough. So yeah, Rick said that's my all-time worst favorite, but that was actually in 2018. The TX75 was a fucking nightmare. But for the same reason, this is actually my third least favorite build, the Keycolt 160. The plate is pretty snug for Zycos, and it hurt the fuck out of my thumbs. It kept, my thumbs were bright red for probably for like a day or two.
You know it's a bad build when you feel it the next 2 days.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm just.
Have you ever had a blister from it though?
Yeah,
I was doing
TX75, I had
Singa-
blisters on my
Singa
thumb.
with
yeah,
Holy
I did a
Pandas.
Singer with Holy Pandas,
Same.
and my thumb had a blister on it for about a week.
Yeah, Singa with Holy Pandas is not a fun experience.
Yeah, it was. So Keycolt, throwing shade. The JL1,
Oh,
the original one,
hit him where it hurts.
fucking nightmare, because it's just all these little things, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it perfect. I have to breathe. Oh, it's screwed up. like, oh, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna pick this up. We're up. That screw went in at like a quarter of a millionth of an inch at the wrong angle. Time to start from scratch. And I remember. So I'm kidding. It is difficult to put together. That part is not the kidding part. I'm kidding at throwing shade at Jay. Jay was very helpful because I talked to Apiary, and then I got to get some like camera time with Jay to get it to like figure out exactly. And the best part of the whole thing, it's like, just take some scissors and cut that gasket. I'm like, well, this is not my board, so I was like, I'm gonna have to talk to the owner of this board before I just start hacking away at gaskets. And we'll see.
Yeah.
And I even talked about this. So like with Bakas, I'm like throwing them around. What? I'm just like, yeah, they're the beater boards, right? And for you, that's kind of it. They're like, they're your board. It's the tool. But I'm like, this is someone's very nice, expensive board. I don't want to mess it up. If I told someone, oh yeah, just take like a fucking chisel and just chisel something into the pocket, I'd be like, go for it, dude, knock yourself out. But the JL1, it's a very technical board that requires a lot of patience, and maybe don't do it as your first build. if you're building
the new ones have adhesive gaskets in to make it a whole lot easier. So yeah, we learned from that. We learned from it.
So, and the number one is the Discipline 65, was just a very technically long build. It took me 4 hours just to solder all the diodes and everything in. And 4 hours were not on stream. That part went well. It was an FR4 plate, I believe, but the plate was giving. So when I push a switch in, the plate wouldn't push back, which was really frustrating. So yeah, I had to get like some tweezers and like go under and like pop them in place.
Yeah.
And it was just a struggle. That was a really cool board and a really cool sounding board. I remember like, I'm sure this happened with you guys. Just like, I cannot fucking wait to finish this board and be done with it. Like, I just want to be done with this build.
Yeah, not every build is a joyous occasion, despite what it might seem like to a lot of people.
So do we want to go into the inverse? Do we want to go top 3 favorite builds now?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then we'll jump. Yeah. Okay. So top 3 my favorite build, because mine is like also what was happening during the build, because the stream was a good stream. The Crown TKL, I got to stream it alongside Lang. And it was a board I was super looking forward to for quite a long time. It came like, I want to say it was like late July, maybe August, where it was like, oh, it's finally here. Like, and this is something I've been looking forward to. I've been stuck at home for 3-4 months. Lang and I got to do a stream side by side. Just a lot of fun. And I love that build, 98 gram creams in a brass plate. Just great. I have built so many bakas in my life, and I'm about to build a lot of squids, which are the same thing. But Zap Cables had his Cerakoted in Milwaukee Bucks colors, and he put creams in it, and it was the first creams build in a baka that I had built, and it sounded really good. I loved using it, and I loved the colors. It was such a cool build. And then the third was building my wife a Bower, because one, I got to build her a Bower, and two, I still think the Bower with Zycos in it is the best sounding board I've ever heard. So,
Nice.
Absolutely. For me, number 3 was the Austin round 2 prototype that I built. Drifting Bunny's a good friend. He's here near us, so I was able to meet up with him and pick up the board, the prototype, to build it. It's a fantastic board. I built the E-White one with creams, and it sounded amazing. It felt amazing. Funny enough, though, while I was streaming it, my power went out the second I was about to do the typing test. Like, I did the whole move mic, I unmuted mic, power out. And I was just like, no. It was a long build, obviously, because it was a larger board, but it was super enjoyable. I'd never built a board quite that large.
It's a big board.
From start to finish. But so it was fun, and it's a very, very nice board. It looks great. Number 2 for me was the Kepler. That was a board, especially when we first started Mechs on Deck. That was right before that, when we were starting to get in our groove of Mechs on Deck. The Kepler and the Sirius ran. Those were 2 boards that I was super stoked about. I always thought it was really cool that 159 sent those out in the like SKB flight cases. The one I built had the stainless steel bottom with the blue PVD plate, and it just looked so good. And I built it with a brand new switch that I'd never tried before, which doesn't happen very often. And that was the Moyu Blacks, which at that time were still like fairly new, and I really, really enjoyed those. And it came out great. I know I had to do research for that build, because much like the J01, it has a similar gasket mounting system. And I know other people had issues with the gaskets tearing and whatnot. So I had to do some research to make sure I got it all together. But I did, and it worked out really, really well. And then number 1 for me was the Satisfaction 75 round 2. It was one of the few times that I've built a board that I didn't own, and I was like, I absolutely need this. Like, I need this board. And I got one, and I'm super stoked.
Nice. So my top 3 favorite builds, and just like in our last least favorite builds category, these aren't necessarily our favorite boards, and that's true for this as well. These aren't necessarily my favorite boards, but I did really, really, really appreciate the build processes. With that said, these are some of my favorite boards. The Bower is actually going to be my number 1. I built a couple Bowers now, and I feel like that board is just so easy to put together, and I really appreciated like how seamless the build process was. I did like 2 or 3 Bower build streams, and like they were all like really, really efficient and really quick, and I like that. I like efficient builds, so I really appreciated the Bower for that. Next up was the Fiel round 5 that I built recently. And, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's just a tray mount, whatever, it can't be that good. But, man, the Fiel really is awesome, especially if you get the one of the round 5s that has the removable center post. That board really does compete with boards that are, more expensive and, different mounting methods. So I think that board kind of really holds its own. And not only that, but one of the things that kind of made it my favorite build is when I did the stream, the Fiel itself is the new E Ultra Hot color, which is kind of like this pretty vibrant pink red, and it's fantastic in person. It's actually fabulous. And in that stream, I used Gmk Cafe on that board, and people were like, "That's not gonna work. It's Cafe with a pink red board." You know what? I still have Cafe on it, and I still think it looks stellar. I don't care what anyone says.
Reminder, guys, he's colorblind, right? Reminder.
It looks good. It looks good. I don't care what you guys say. You guys are just haters. And the last one for me was the Iron 165. I think that board is just it was a pretty seamless build process as well, even though you have to do the gaskets yourself, which is one of the things I appreciated about the Bowers. You didn't have to do that, but I still thought it was a fairly seamless build process, and great results because Iron 165.
Nice. For me, the first one on my list is the LZST in polycarbonate, which I'm actually using right now. And the reason why this is on the list for me is because this is a board that I've coveted for literally years. So there's only 2 of these ever made by LZ in polycarbonate. He only ever made 2 of them. And I saw one of these in 2017 at a meetup in the UK. And the guy who had it, it's Future Crime, the guy who designed GMK DMG, and he had the board there, and I just wanted it. Like, I saw it and I wanted it, and I was relatively new to meetups at that point. It was the first real one I'd gone to, and I took the Hyper 7 to that meetup, and the Hyper 7 won board of the show or whatever, and this came second, and in my view, this board should have won. And I always told him, I said, if you ever decide to sell that board, let me know. And he reached out to me about 10 weeks ago now and said, I'm going to sell it. Do you want it? And I was like, I couldn't say yes fast enough. And here I have it now. So I really enjoyed doing that build stream because it's a board that I've been wanting for a long time. And now it's finally in my collection. The next one on my list is a board that's just out of shot, actually. It's just up here. But it's the thermal, because I love the styling of it. The board designed by Wilbur, run by Rama. I just absolutely love that board. The thermal is great. It's really interesting to build. It's really interesting to type on. It looks fantastic. The design of it's great. And do you know what? Like Brian said, it was just one of those builds that just went really easy all the way through. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the third build on my list is the Juby from Pona, because I love boards that have got left-hand macro columns. Like, I'm a big sucker for macro columns on the left-hand side. And that build was just really nice. And we built it in ISO, which meant we couldn't use a plate, but I wouldn't have used a plate anyway, so a complete PCB mount. It's just a joy to build, a joy to type on. Like, the quality was really good. I was really happy with the board. So yeah, those are my 3.
Nice. What category are we doing next, boys? Favorite boards, favorite key sets, favorite guests, or things to look forward to?
Let's do guests, then key sets and boards.
Guests and key sets and boards. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so my turn to start then. So guests, Gondolindrum. We had Gondolindrum on the show a little while back, and he's just a pleasure. He's just really fun to have on the show, fun to chat with. I just got a lot of time for him. Next up was Tiny. I wasn't actually on this, but Brian had Tiny on the show, and it was just a great show. I was watching; it was just fantastic, and I thought, she was always a pleasure to watch on Twitch and everything else. So she was really good as well. And then the third one is you guys. I just genuinely love it when we do these dual streams. Like, just having you guys around and being able to join forces with the Mechs on Decks guys. Always a dream come true.
Am I going to be the bad guy now because they're not on my list?
I mean, well, you're not on our list, but granted.
That's fair. Jay's the only one that's actually nice out of all 4 of us.
Hey, I invited Quakos on. He told me, no, Wednesdays are personal nights for me.
Oh, man. Hey, I mean, it's true.
We all have to have our personal nights. I get it.
It's like the only day of the week I see my girlfriend, actually. Wednesdays and/or a Saturday. Anyways, I guess I'm up next too. I'll start with my number 3, which is Gondolindrum. Same with Jay. I mean, I thought Gondolindrum was just stellar. It was at a time in my life where him and I talked a lot after the show, and I thought the show was amazing. But he's just such a great person, and I was kind of struggling a bit more with my mental at that point, and he was kind of like sort of going through something the same, so we were kind of just exchanging stories, if you will, and stuff like that, and we just had some of the greatest conversation I've ever had in the community, and that guy really is just so genuine and so stellar, and I don't know if he's watching right now. He's probably not, but shout out to Gondolindrum because he's just an absolute hero in this community with the stuff that he does and just his personality. He's just a wonderful human being, and I'm glad that he never actually left the community when he received all that hostility a while back. So glad he's still around because the community needs him. We really do. Next up is going to be Andy of GMK, otherwise known as Living Speed Bump, depending on how long you've been in the community. And Andy and I are just, I mean, at this point we're just good friends. So it's like, he's always a joy to have around. And I talk to him a lot at meetups, and it's always a good time. And when I was doing Behind the Keyboard, which is of course the interview focused portion of Top Clack at the beginning of the year, which I haven't done in a while because I'm terrible. But the episodes that we were doing were actually really, really good. And Living Speed Bump was just such an amazing guest. And we learned so much about GMK because at this point he was, kind of fully integrated with GMK. He's basically the U.S. presence for GMK. And he was able to answer a lot of questions that I had, that chat had. And, he just does it in such a calm, casual demeanor. And, he's a joy to be around. Really fun guy. And my top is actually Tiny. So I share that with Jay on my list as well. I thought Tiny was just a spectacular guest. And again, not only did we have an amazing show, but her and I just sat down and we talked after the stream for like an hour and a half. And she's like a real OG in this community. And she's such a great streamer as well. She's been doing it, I think, even longer than Top Clack. She's one of the first people that were streaming keyboard content. And, it really shows. And I really like her kind of outlook, both in life and in the keyboard hobby. So very much appreciate Tiny. So there's my 3, guys. But we had lots of great guests on, just like I'm sure you guys did, obviously. Yeah. It feels almost insignificant to like reduce it down to 3 because basically every guest is a good experience in some format, right?
Yeah. We had probably, I need to go back and look. I think we had like 40... It was some low 40s of how many guests we had this year, because we did have a couple like repeats or people coming back. But yeah, it's hard to miss down.
Especially like I was thinking about this a lot over the last couple days, and like it's hard, like you're saying, it's hard to kind of pick 3 because they're all so good. But I was able to squeeze out some. I'm kind of cheating with one of them, but with one of my answers, but yeah, I'll start. Number 3 is one of the more recent, most recent guests that we've had, and that's Mr. Ryan Norbauer. He is an incredibly intelligent individual, does a lot for the community, does like literally the most for Topra. He does like more for Topra for this community than Topra itself does.
It's true.
So
it's true.
That's not wrong. That's
actually true. That's fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I love when we have people come on our stream where I leave and I feel like I have gained this insane knowledge about something that I had no idea about. I look back to when we first had the guys from Smith and Rune on, when we had Nathan Alphaman on, where they're super knowledgeable about something and how it affects the hobby, and they're passionate about it. And for me, Topra is something I've never really dove into. I don't own a Topra board. I've tried it at meetups and I've spent a little bit of time with it, and I've never really given it a fair shot. But listening to the complexities of the Holy Grail, and that process of building that, it's just hard not to be like amazed at how much work that he puts into the work that he does. And it was just a great conversation. Just listen to him just talk. Like I felt smarter.
Yeah, that's exactly a good way to explain it too. Like he makes you feel better about yourself because he really does. He's so eloquent and so knowledgeable.
And he was courteous. He was nice. He was genuinely a lovely person to speak to. And then the next day, he sent me a message to thank me for my time speaking to him. And it's like, dude, I should be the one thanking you because we had this amazing conversation. You imparted all of this knowledge and wisdom, and then you're sending me a message to thank me. It was just, he's such a polite gentleman, and yeah, I've got a lot of time for Ryan Norbauer.
If there's only one person in the community you could talk to, like if you had to pick one, it would definitely be Norbauer for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 2 for me was someone that is like super easy to talk to. It's one of those times we have some people on where it's just like we start stream and then all of a sudden I look down at the clock and it's like already past 10. It's like 10:30 and we're still going. And those are fun. It just feels natural. There's a great flow, great chemistry between Chewy, myself, and the guest. And that one for me, number 2, was Kimchi Jody Boy, fellow streamer. Great conversations, just good talking about keyboards, talking about what we're into, what we're not into. Just a lot of fun. And then number 1 for me was something that we did at the beginning of quarantine with tons and tons of help from CYO Caps. And that was the Quarantined on Deck stream. That was a awesome stream. We had a ton of people coming in and getting a chance to hear from a ton of different makers of artisans. Another situation where I wasn't super knowledgeable about what was happening and what they do and their processes. And I gained a lot of knowledge through that couple hours of stream. And it was for a good cause. And we got to have some makers make some fun caps for it. And it was just a really fun time. Really, really good time. If you haven't seen any of these, definitely recommend go checking them out on YouTube. Quarantine on Deck's all up there. Kimchi, Norbauer. I'm sure all of the top Clack streams are up on YouTube. They're all great watches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mine. So DD Decline, he was a lot of fun to talk to. He's actually grown to be a pretty great friend now recently. But he is someone that he doesn't waste words, which I appreciate. He gets right down to it, and I really like listening to him because of that. And he also stepped in to co-host Mechs on Deck once as well, because Osiris was feeling ill or like had something to do or whatever, and I was like, "Hey man, do you want to be the guest host tonight?" Like, surprise! It was like a couple weeks after he came on the show. And I remember it was like recall. I was like, oh, yeah, like he did a really good job on the interview. I bet he'd do great as a co-host. And then number 2 is Kimchi Jody Boy. Yeah, it was one that I'll even tell when he was super nervous and he wouldn't stop talking about it. He's like, I just feel like I'm going to mess this up. Like, I just feel it. And then like he gave one of the best interviews of this year. And then number 1, to me, this was my favorite interview. This is one of the few that I have actually gone back and watched, mainly because he's so pretty. But Nathan Alphaman, Nathan Alphaman is an incredibly intelligent and incredibly gifted individual. Super. Like, I'm not trying to shill towards him, but like it was such a fun interview with him and such a fun just chatting with him about keyboard. He's made an amazing keyboard. He's one of the few people that have gone through this. I made a board and then I made this like insane change to this board, and here's exactly why I did everything. And he's also made an amazing key set, and he's also got another amazing key set coming out. Like, the guy just is fire all the time. He's one of those people you're like, you would be the best at anything you do. Like, you could be a plumber and you'd be the best plumber.
He's cute too, right?
Yeah, right. He's got the Justin Timberlake energy, right? Doesn't matter what Justin Timberlake does. He's going to be the best at it.
Lizzie Pasta in chat says he's a sexy man.
He is. He's incredible.
I need to go back and watch that. I don't think I've seen that. I don't know what he looks like.
What's funny is he was like nervous about showing his face, and I'm like, dude, you are a very attractive man. Like, don't be nervous.
Yeah. I'm just, if he ever comes on Top Cock, I'm just gonna blank my camera off because he'll put me to shame. Yeah.
So let's do key sets, and we'll cross reference this. I'll start from 1 to 3 because we're talking about Nathan Alphaman and the amazing designer that he is. He also designed my favorite key set of the year, and my favorite key set of all time now is GMK Ursa. And I'm sure Jay likes it because GMK Ursa has the best ISO enter ever. There is no better ISO enter.
Ironically, I don't have it on an ISO board. I have it on my LZ Physics. Nathan, on my build stream the other day, he made me... It wasn't one of the sets I was going to put on this board. I usually let chat choose when I'm building it. But he made me go into the warehouse, dig out the key set and bring it back, and then not use an ISO enter and put it on a non-ISO board. And it's like, Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
It's such a great set. The colors are great. By the way, for what we kind of talked about these are caps that have shipped to us. So which I'm looking, I was like, let me make sure I said that correct. These are caps that have shipped to us that we have seen in person. As we know, every single keycap set ever in the history of time has never matched a render even close. It's all been basically the opposite of the color, as we've seen on our monitors. So anyway, number 2, Gmk Cafe, because it's such a clean set. Love that.
is that monochrome, right? That's monochrome, right?
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
That's Olivia, right?
But,
It's actually Olivia.
yeah. So it's with a hint of Mizu.
Today I learned Olivia's black and white. Yeah.
So yeah, Gmk Cafe, fantastic set. And was super stoked when I got it in, and it looks the tan on that looks amazing. And then lastly, Gmk Peaches and Cream. I thought that set came out beautifully. That set in person is super vibrant and just a great set.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, for me, this is not a set that I own, but I put it on here because Chewy and his wife purchased this recently, and man, is it awesome. It came out so good, and that's Gmk Analog Dreams. Yeah, it looks so good. Number 2, GMK DualShock. I don't have around me to show off.
Oh, there it is. Boom.
There it is.
Coming in clutch. That's how you go clutch.
Yeah, DualShock's just so clean. It just looks so good. Like, I put it on my Bauer. I put it on the Styrka I built this past week, and it just looks so good. Like, I love the super clean, like, monochrome-ish sets. I like the little touches of color that it has on the modifiers. It just looks great. And then number 1 for me, in a year of sets not matching the renders, the lone set that was praised, that was applauded for matching.
It's terrible. It doesn't match even a little bit, dude.
GMK Bingsu.
Interestingly enough, it's the first Neb science set, right?
Yep. I was about to say shoutouts to Neb and 159 for doing the work, doing the color science to make sure it matches, and it looks great. It looks so good. It obviously being the colors that it is, it's hard to fit on like every board. It's not like a DualShock where you could probably kind of throw it on any color and it looked good. But it surprisingly looks really good on some weird colors. Like I've seen it on a blue board and I'm like, that actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah. All right, I guess I'm up next. And I knew that all three of you would just have your columns filled with GMK, so I wanted to deviate from the course a little bit.
Yeah, this is the only one that has anything that's not GMK.
It's true.
Fucking SA Godspeed on there, but drop, send me my fucking set. It's been 3 months. Lang got his set 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. If you don't have it, you can't put it on, right? Which is rough because SA Godspeed. I was actually part of the round 1 SA Godspeed group, and man, that set is actually incredible in person.
Yeah, that's why I fucking wanted it so bad.
it's definitely it's for me. It's a top 3 SA set for sure. Anyways, on to my top 3 sets. Coming in at number 3 is actually DCS Red Alert Round 3 from Socialite through the Dixie Mech Fulfillment Service. And that was a quick one. It was pretty quick. It had decent compatibility. The turnaround time was like 2 months, maybe 3 tops. It felt really, really quick, and I've been really enjoying it. I think DCS is kind of underrated in the community, and it's received a lot of, honestly, unnecessary flack over the years. But I'm glad that some people are kind of coming around to it. They're kind of opening their minds a bit and realizing that just because it's thin doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's thin by design, so, But yeah, Red Alert I think came out pretty well. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Next up is a set I actually haven't put on a board yet, but since looking at it, I already know how much I freaking love it. And it came in just the other day, which is GMK Botanical, which interestingly enough, is another set that had Nebulant behind doing some color science as well. And I think Botanical, just like you were talking about Osiris with Bingsu, how it actually came out like remarkably close to the renders, I think Botanical is very similar as well. Botanical came out strikingly close to the renders, in my eyes at least, obviously, which is, take that with a grain of salt. But I fell in love with the renders, which is why I bought it, and I look at the set in person, and I'm in love with it still. So Botanical definitely made my top 3 list there, and my number 1, it's got to be Gmk Cafe. I just have so much love for not only like the set itself, but the novelties, Langalandia, the person behind it. It's just stellar. He was kind enough to give me a set because he's just one of those people. That is just a fantastic human being, and like I mentioned, I put it on my Ultra Hot Fiel, and I think it looks freaking amazing. So big shout outs for Gmk Cafe, another set that I think came out pretty darn close to the renders and just looks stellar overall on a lot of colors.
Nice. Like you, Brian, I agree on Gmk Botanical. I got my set in the other day, and it just looks phenomenal. Like the colors on it are so good.
Yeah.
Like it's just really, really, really nice. So big fan of Botanical. Also Analog Dreams. I know that you had this on Osiris as well. Analog Dreams just looks so good. I can't hold this keyboard up anymore to show you anymore, but it's just such a good set. And then I did have one that no one else had, which I don't think anyone filled out the form and said this either. But Gmk Froyo, and the reason I like Froyo so much wasn't necessarily because of the colors or anything else, but it's all the text novelties that it comes with, like shop and scan and all. It's just got so many text novelties in, and I just think they're absolutely killer. I just love them. So yeah, Gmk Froyo took up my 3rd spot.
Nice. Yeah, I know Cool Kids, CRP Arabic, Gmk Olivia was on there, Gmk 8008, Minimal 2. There's actually a pretty wide range of caps, which I liked seeing. Analog Dreams, Bingsu, Ashes, Mizu, Alter, Masterpiece, Redacted Fundamentals, Dual Shot, Grain, Deku, Serica, Dracula, again, Nautilus. It was nice seeing how many. It wasn't just blatant. It wasn't just like everybody likes Olivia, like how it seems like votes go on Keyboard of the Year. So I really appreciated that.
Nice. All right, what category are we moving to next, boys?
Top 3 favorite boards.
We're going to favorite boards next? All right.
Right, okay, so let me start. The first one I'm going to start off with is a board that really, really surprised me this year. Now, I've actually lent it to a friend. I'm going to give it away in January, so come back in January for a giveaway on this one. But it's a SCOG reboot. So I got sent this for free by Percent Studios, which is why I'm going to give it away. I try not to keep freebies. I try and give them away as much as possible. But I was just blown away by the SCOG, how much detail and thought that Percent had put into that board. And I don't know if you've seen any of the other streams on this, but like there is so many minute differences to the board and changes that they've made that I don't know how they can get that much value into that price tag. Like there is so much machining that happens on the board. The finish is excellent. The design is really good. There's a few things that I dislike about it, but it would just overall impressed me that much that I was a really big fan of it. The biggest dislike I have is the whole adjustable foot system. I think it's a good idea in principle, in practice not so much, but just the actual quality of the board for the price tag it had blew me away. The next one, because it's a huge chunk of metal, and it's kind of special because it's got the brass base, is the Iron 180. So I was lucky enough to get invited by the Smith and Rune guys to join the Iron 180 prototype round. So I have one in the Gran green color. It looks very much like the British Racing green and brass, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Like just to look at the colors, just absolutely beautiful. So I really, really like that. And then the third board is one that I've literally just gotten a few weeks ago. So I'm taking a risk by putting this on my list because I've only used a pre-built one before. I've not actually built one, and I've not built mine yet. But this is the Geon F1 8X. And the reason this is on my list is because it's a real favorite, because Geon and I actually randomly ended up watching the same stream of someone building a JO2 a few weeks ago. And we agreed randomly in Twitch chat that I'd send him a JO2 and he would send me one of his boards that he was working on. So it was just like a really fun kind of engagement, and that was kind of the first time Gion and I had really spoken in detail. We reached out, and I sent him a JR2 with a little note in there. He sent me the F1. It was just a really nice little exchange that we did. So yeah, that's well up my list for this year.
Nice. For me, my number 3 is going to start out with the IDB60. Despite having to Dremel the PCB and it being kind of one of my least favorite builds of the year, the end result was, pretty spectacular. I'm a big fan of Flex. I like really soft typing experiences. People that know me know that. So that board really delivered in terms of flex and consistency, and I liked that quite a bit. So and I like the fact that it was just so cheap, too. I'm a big fan of value. And that board was just like basically pennies compared to other boards, and the typing experience really is much higher than it punches for its price. Next up is actually the board I'm using right now, which is my Polaris. So I kind of assumed going into 2020 that this might be one of my favorite boards of the year, and unsurprisingly it is. This is another board that I think was just very, very good for the price. I got mine on the aftermarket, but thankfully I got it for group buy pricing, so I was very, very lucky. Got it from a very nice person. So, yeah, the Polaris was just great. I have the polycarbonate half plate in mine, and I have some Gateron inks that are lubed, and it's been a joy to use. It feels good. It sounds good. The typing experience is very soft, very flexy. Actually, more flexy than my IDB60, which is kind of surprising. So I've been really, really enjoying that one. I've been using this one quite a bit. But first on my list has to be the Iron 165. That's the board that really kind of surprised me most throughout the year. To be honest, when they first launched it, I thought it was just going to be like another high-end board that was fine. But when I got it, I was very pleasantly surprised. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with the science they put into the plate, the way the plate is designed. And I think that all that work really paid off, and you could tell that their passion and their attention to detail was just all over the Iron 165. And since then I'm totally sold on it. Totally sold on the Iron 165 and that method of doing plates. So that's definitely my standout top tier board of the year.
Nice. Yeah, for me, it's funny. I have 3 boards on here, and I actually only personally own one of them. Number 3 was the Austin Round 2. I love drifting bunnies as a person. I talked about it as one of my favorite builds. I think the board just aesthetically looks great. Chewy had an Austin Round 1 for quite some time, and I always loved the way that it looked. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the design with the triangle for the indicators. I just think that looks so cool. The way that the board comes together with the weight, it just looks so clean. And it's just such a great board. And I just love the idea behind it of drifting bunnies. He wanted to run this board. No one wanted to pick it up, so he did it himself, and he did the whole thing himself. And it was super successful round 1. He was able to run a round 2, and he's doing way more boards. So yeah, I really enjoyed that board. It sounded great. It felt amazing. So yeah, Austin Round 2 is number 3. Number 2 is a board that is shipping to people now. I think, Brian, you just recently got yours. Did you build it already?
No, so I did a stream the other day on Monday where I lubed some switches for it, but that was it. I have it next to me. I have it all prepped. It's ready to be built. That's my next build stream coming up in probably just a couple days, hopefully.
And that board is the Tengu, and I built the Tengu prototype, and honestly, that board could be awful as long as it had that red finish, because that is one of the most beautiful reds I have seen in a keyboard.
You could show it off while you're talking about it.
I think we've seen a lot of Alice-style boards over the last 2 years. To me, the Tengu was one of the first times where I really felt like someone took that layout and completely made it their own, with the way that it's designed, the angles, the front design of it. The front edges are just so beautiful. The sides look great. It's just such a beautiful looking board. The red is so amazing. It's slightly orange in certain light. It just looks great, and the board felt great, sounded great. It was one of my first times using a gasket board. Oh, we lost Jay.
Uh-oh. That's really unfortunate, because now it's going to mess up the cropping very poorly. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get Jay back momentarily, guys.
I'm prepared for this.
You were? Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting it.
Well, it's because we do the stream every week with 3 people, so this works. So hopefully he can make it back. But yeah, Tengu number 2 and number 1, just like Brian, Iron 165. I love boards that are designed and built with like purpose, and there's actual like true thought and work that goes into the design of the board, and that obviously as Brian was talking about, the plate design, the science that went into that, it really came through the Iron 165, and it just feels amazing. And it was a pretty easy build, it was a pretty easy build.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, it sounds like Jay has lost power, so that's very unfortunate. I don't know if it was a temporary thing, but I guess we'll wait a couple moments and find out. And I guess I can recrop things if necessary. But I guess while we're waiting, why don't you tell us, Chewy, what are your top 3 favorite boards of 2020?
So my top 3, starting with number 3, I thought the Bauer was just a fantastic board. The build, like you said earlier, the build was super duper easy. It just kind of felt like everything just kind of it's like the board put itself together. Like it honestly was, and it sounds so good. My wife, the Bauer, my wife has the Bauer, and I get to listen to it all the time. It's got Bowers with Zycos in it. It's a fantastic sounding board. It feels really good too. So I thought Garrett did a great job on that one. Number 2, the Iron 180. I was fortunate enough to build this and type on it for a little bit. I wasn't the craziest fan of the switches that Vox had me throw in for him, but overall the build quality was great. The board felt great. I mean, I expected that. For those who don't know, I'm not a huge fan of 65% boards. So it just, I was not. I was really happy to get the Iron 180 and kind of proceed with that. And then lastly, the number 1, the Crown TKL, I think it was a private group buy board that I was a part of. The Crown TKL is it's a fantastic TKL. I love it. It's made by Blind Assassin, who co-designed the Baco with me. And it's just that thing's a tank, and it sounds amazing, and it kind of makes me go, gasket's nice, but top mount still might just be the way.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. I find it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but shout out to Smith and Rune for having an iron on all 4 of our lists. Yeah. All 4 of us had an iron board on our list.
Mm-hmm. Crown's nice, but I didn't get blurple. I don't care about purple. Like honestly, it's just purple has never been a color that I think it's because I'm a diehard Packers fan, and so I hate the Vikings so much. So, well, here, why don't we do this? Why don't we take, before we get to our last subject, to give Jay a couple minutes, why don't we take like a quick 3-minute, we'll call it a grindonomic, because I know he likes ergonomics, to stand up and walk around real quick, and we will be right back if that is cool with everyone.
Sounds good.
Do what you got to do. I don't have an intermission screen, so I'm just going to sit here and chill with Twitch chat while you guys do what you have to do. For anyone that's wondering what the heck's going on, Jay has lost power, but it sounds like he is on his way back now. So hopefully it won't be too much longer, and then we will continue this stream and finish it up our top 3 categories, as well as doing a couple giveaways before we head out. So lots of cool stuff happening, guys. But how are you guys doing in chat? Let us know.
I want to interact with your chat with you.
You interact with my chat with me? My chat's not very talkative at the moment. I gotta be honest. My chat is a little shy, but that's okay. That's okay. We get through this together. Monkey says Quakums needs that O-ring beauty light. I totally agree. The 3 of these gentlemen all look fantastic on stream, and I look like a complete hobo. I need a ring light, please. Someone please link me ring light.
Please Gib.
Please Gib. Please Gib.
Dude, Wave Depth officially on Xmas break. 10 days of relaxation. Man, I wish I had 10 days off. Although I had like 6 months off, so I shouldn't really complain.
You just got off quarantine. You just got a job. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I love you. Um, gosh. Lemon Chiffon is saying quite well. Was watching the Monday VOD and saw you were streaming. You're actually watching a VOD of me lubing? You are hardcore. I feel like anyone that watches a lubing VOD is pretty hardcore. But I don't know. That was a chill stream, actually. There's some good conversation with the chat on that stream. I'm excited to build a Tengu though, man. Like, and knowing that it's on your top 3 list, Osiris, I'm very happy to see that.
Dude, it's just like a really solid board. Like, it's not anything crazy. It's not anything like insane, but it's just like one of those ones where you're like, man, this feels great. It looks great. And it sounds really good too. You know, it kind of checks all the boxes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has like a similar mounting method as the Iron 165, right? I think it uses like the same exact gaskets even. Or at least they look like exactly the same. So I have high hopes for it. It'll be my first Alice style owned board, so that should be pretty cool. I want to thank you very much, man. You're way too kind. He's saying my lube stream was fun. Lazy Pasta is asking, what do you guys think is the best budget board under $300?
The Clippa.
Under $300 is an interesting price range, because that's like when you kind of like start coming out of the entry level stuff, and like now you're like kind of into the mid range stuff. Like you could have got the Polaris, or you could have got like, you know, one of the Cannon keys, like not the brutal, but what's the most recent one that ran? Was it the Obliterated?
Savage? No, or Obliterated. Savage is the 65%.
Right? 65.
Obliterated is 75. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vega, I think, just ran. Like, there's actually a fair amount of boards that you can get for like under $300 these days. But I guess the real question is $300 price for just like a
just
kit,
the board, or the
are you including keycaps and switches and like stabilizers and you know, maybe a cable if you don't have one, like depending how new you are to the hobby. Because I feel like when we hear something like that, we think like a base kit, which will come with, you know, a case, a PCB, and a plate, but won't actually come with anything else. You know, it's something for you to kind of DIY custom yourself. But yeah, I mean, the Clippa is a good option. I think the NK65 is a really good option, but that's like way less than $300. But I mean, it functions like a more expensive board, more or less. Welcome back, Jay.
Hey guys, we had a power cut. I was kind of not expecting it, but yeah, like
check your
everything just shut off.
Check your audio input. I think you're coming through from like a webcam or something.
Oh, 1 second.
Might be the headphones.
Nerdy says J robot voice. I don't know if I'd say robot, but it's certainly a significantly lower quality than usual.
Old-timey radio voice.
Okay, but for some reason it's not detecting my microphone isn't my computer. Don't know why.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't really want to disconnect and reconnect.
No worries. Well,
do what you gotta do. I mean,
yeah, it's not finding it in there. Okay, I'll try flit around in my settings, see if I can get the microphone to work.
Well, we'll start on with the top things to look forward to in 2021. We all put keyboard things. I mean, I think the easiest one for everyone to agree is improvement from 2020.
I assumed we were doing keyboards, but yeah, I guess we could definitely stretch this out.
I think that goes for everyone. Let's try and get past this pandemic and get back to either some old normal or at least a new. But for me, number 3, Modern Dolch Light, I think is going to be one of my favorite sets. I think it's going to easily make its way into one of my top favorite sets. The Evolve, the aluminum one, I'm really, really excited to see those and see that kind of prosper as a really awesome 75% board. And lastly, I am designing, it's finished. The designs are done. But all right, got a little top-down action from Jay. But
sorry,
the designs and everything are done for the Baka 70, so I'm very excited to get that up and running. Probably like Q2 of next year. I'm gonna wait until after Chinese New Year, and also give it a little time. But excited to get that off the ground.
Nice. What about you,
Nice.
Osiris?
Yeah, this was in one of my top my top favorite build, and that's Satisfaction 75 round 2. I'm really excited for that to come in next year. Cannot wait for it. It's a cool board. I'm excited about the color that I got. Excited about the different options that I got. So I cannot wait to get that in. Number 2 is a board that I don't know if I'll actually purchase, but I'm excited for what it will do for the community. And that's the Bauer Light. We saw with what Glorious was trying to do with the GMMK Pro, there's still a lot of questions of how that's all going to work out. To me, the Bauer Light is basically trying to do a similar thing from someone that I know knows what they're doing. So I'm excited to see what that does for the community, what that would look like for Omni-type moving into 2021 with the Bauer Light. I think it's going to be a freaking awesome board for not a lot of money. Cannot wait for it. And then number 1, board by a man in this stream, the Lodestone. I'm excited to see more stuff with that. I just think it's really cool. It's an insane idea.
Soon.
It's one of those things when you look at that, you're like, there's no way this will happen. There's no way this will work. But
I actually just got the latest round of the prototype in like 2 days ago, but no one's seen it yet. I could grab it if you want to see it.
yes.
I mean,
Is that a
30
question?
seconds.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
But yeah, Lodestone, just like the Evolve, just like the Iron 165, things that are designed with purpose. I think this year especially, we lost a lot of the, like, why we're doing things. Like, why are we changing mounting styles? Why do we even have gaskets? Why did that get popular? What was the goal for that? And I think boards like Evolve, Lodestone, Iron 165 take those things, they take features and they try to make them better. They try to innovate, and gosh, that looks so good.
Yeah, how nice is the base? Excuse the fingerprints, but the base is my favorite bit.
Yeah, that is sexy. And it's almost unassuming too, because it's like a really unique board on the inside, but on the outside, like you don't really know that yet. And it's
just
kind of I like that. It's almost like mysterious in a way.
Yeah.
And I guess this
the
is
metal's really cold.
Yeah. And one of the boards on my top 3 as well, since we're kind of leading that, is also the Lodestone. I mean, I've been really interested to see magnets in keyboards for a while now, and I think it's going to be a nice step forward. And again, like Osiris is mentioning, boards built with purpose. It's a really cool thing to do, and anything that potentially even changes the typing experience is something that I'm interested in, because I don't really care about like colors or the angles or like things that truly affect a typing experience are like what I'm interested in. And boards, again, like the Lodestone or the Iron 165, that have those tweaks, those different purposes, those are just really interesting to me as well. So definitely looking forward to that. Next up on my list is a board that I have incoming, the Heine TKL1. I've owned very few nice TKLs, and this is definitely going to be one of them. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Got tracking for it, but it hasn't updated in a while. Feels bad, man. But that's just how it goes. Shout out to all the postal service workers, because they're kind of going through hell right now. So do something nice for your mailmen and your delivery people if you can. Next is another board that should be on the way to me soon. I believe they're shipping this month, which is the Prophet. And I was really, really happy when I got to try your Prophet, Jay, back when you came into Seattle in 2019 for the meetup. I thought that was just a really interesting and unique board, and I'm glad I was able to get in on the run, because the price was very nice. I think it was, gosh, it had to have been sub $300 for a base kit, I think, on the run that I picked up. So I was very happy about that, and I'm going to be able to try out something new. I'm going to be able to try a polypropylene plate. Anytime I can try a new material for a plate or a case or a switch, etc., I'm going to do it. So very much looking forward to the Prophet. That's got to be kind of at the top of my list at the moment, alongside that Lodestone.
Lodestone will happen next year. It's just been delayed because of COVID. Like prototyping has slowed right down. But hey, this is the latest one, and hopefully we'll have some more news on it in the new year for you guys. My list's kind of a little bit different. One is something that I really want to see that isn't really out yet. One is something that should be coming to me very soon, and the other one is just something I want to get done and see other people get, if that makes sense. So the first one is the Heine TKL one. I'm really excited for that. It should be here relatively soon. I'm really excited for that build because it'll be my first TKL Alps build because I'm going to put brown Alps in it. So that's going to be my one of my big builds of 2021 that I'm looking forward to. The next board that I'm kind of really interested to see, after getting the Gion Works F1 in, I really want to see what he's going to do with the F2, the next board that's coming up, as well as the Vanquish and everything else. Gion is quite possibly my favorite designer in the community right now, so I'm really excited to see what he comes up with. And then the final one is that the thing I'm looking really forward to in 2021 is shipping out the JO1 Rev ones to all of the buyers, because we ended up selling like twice as many as we wanted to do because one of the APIs on the site broke. So I'm really looking forward to getting all of those boards out to the people that bought them. So thank you to everyone that supported me during that, and yeah, I can't wait to get those all shipped out.
Nice.
How's my mic now, by the way? Is this back to normal? Is this back to my usual dulcet tones? Because
you seem a little peaky, but
A little hot.
Yeah, I had to turn you down by 25% in Discord because it was kind of overpowering. But it sounds cleaner. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I'll have to go into my settings and try and fix it all later on. I think the power cut has just wiped half the settings off my PC. It seems.
Yeah. No, it happens. We can figure that out later. It's good enough for now. All right. Well, that actually concludes our top/least list. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
We covered every category, didn't we? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what are we moving on to now? We doing some giveaways, boys?
Giveaways.
I mean,
I'm down.
we had planned on doing that.
I think
Maybe.
chat probably wants to get some stuff for free.
Yeah.
So
And
People like free stuff usually.
I
My
kind of
experience.
like the fact that we haven't really been hyping it up either, because like there's not like tons of additional people here that are just here to win stuff. Like all the people that are watching us right now like are genuinely interested in watching us, and those are the people that I'd prefer win stuff when possible. So very happy about that. All right.
Funky7 says, "I would like free stuff, please." Yeah, I bet you would, man. Everyone likes free stuff.
I mean, who doesn't like free stuff, right? Come on.
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna take a quick step away, guys. Sorry.
All right, no worries.
no worries.
All right, so how do we want to do this giveaway? I think we've decided on marbles, right? Both streams are going to be doing marbles.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I guess Mechs on Decks, if you guys want to go first and run your first giveaway because you seem to be set up for it, do marbles in your stream for your first giveaway, and then we'll just take it in turns. And Brian, while that one's running, you can get ready to do ours.
Yeah, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Just a fun fact here. I'm actually I've never done marbles on stream before, so bear with me, guys, when it comes to that time. We'll get through this together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll walk you through it now.
I appreciate that.
Marbles on Stream, interactive game. You know, this is a lot better than you having to type something in chat and then we just randomly pick someone, or having a system that randomly picks someone. This, you get to watch a marble roll down a track like you're a little kid back when you had those marble games that you would build. Right now, you can vote for a map. You can type !vote in the Mechs on Deck chat, followed by a number, and that number needs to be 1 through 57 to vote for an available map. As always, I'm sure Langlandia is in someone's chat hitting vote 69 because he sure does love to do that.
Yeah, I've already seen that.
Who would have thought?
So, yep. And now the chat fills up with !vote 69. So we'll give it a couple seconds here, and then we'll pick whatever is the winning map. And then when we're ready, I'll show you what to do next to get entered into the race.
All right, guys. So yeah, we are going to be kind of handing off the giveaways. So if you guys want to head over to the Mechs on Decks channel, if you guys aren't already, I highly recommend it if you want to win the things that they are giving away. And then once they are done, we will bring the marbles over here effectively, and then we'll do a couple giveaways here as well. So Mechs on Deck's doing giveaways right now. Top Clack will be after that. So typing.
Do you want to do
voting?
first?
Everyone, look at our chat right now. I think everyone's trolling, but people are just voting. This isn't affecting the Mechs on Deck giveaway at all. So make sure to go to their chat if you want to vote.
Chewy, do we want to do just one race and for all three?
Up to you, man.
We can just do that. So then it's just 1 and 1.
Okay. I'll show off these caps again.
Yeah. So we'll do it. First place will win the obliterated 75 that is in the purple. I don't remember the exact name for the purple. This is a proto. It is built with some Gatoron red inks and an FR4 plate with some GMK stabilizers. If you are international, you will have to pay shipping on this guy. But yeah, free board. So first place will get this. Second and third will get the artisans that Chewy is showing off now. So yeah, it looks like we're doing Slippery Slopes 2. And now is the time to start putting exclamation point vote into chat. Or not exclamation point vote, exclamation point play into chat. And this will get you entered in the race.
Once again, in the Mechs on Deck Twitch channel, not the Top Clack Twitch channel this time.
Yeah, we'll be on the Top Clack channel in just a few minutes.
And momentarily, yes.
Absolutely.
Upas going with the auto win command. Nice.
People still trying to put play in ours. Like, it's not going to do anything, guys.
But yeah, the just to let everyone know, it is a proto obliterated 75. It does have a short blocker, but it still functions quite perfectly. So, and it was hand built by yours truly. So you can critique my build skills if you win.
You better critique his build skills.
Please do. Don't judge my stab lubing abilities, because when you ship a board with 205 grade 0, if it goes in the air, it changes around the lube.
Does it really? I guess that makes sense. I never thought about that before.
Yeah, the pressure. Especially if it goes underneath. If it goes underneath in a plane, in a non pressurized space, it really changes it. Dude,
Sense.
even in cold mornings, sometimes I'll leave my keyboard in my car that I take to work, in the garage, and I'll get to work and it'll be the switches will be slightly gummier, just because of the lube kind of thickening up.
Interesting.
All right. We'll give it a couple seconds here, and then we'll start this marbles race. Again, exclamation point play in the Mechs on Deck chat to be entered to win.
Yes. All of you that are typing exclamation point play in the Top Clack chat are going to win nothing at the moment, because this is not the channel you need to be in. Oh my gosh, people are silly.
All right, I'll go ahead and start this one. For everyone that's just now joining, you got 10 seconds to type exclamation point play in the Mechs on Deck channel.
I think it's also safe to say we'll probably ship these all out in a few days, probably next week. Got to let mail catch up for a little bit. You will definitely get them. It just might be a couple days.
Yeah, because shipping times right now are awful. I've got 2 things that one of them was supposed to be delivered today, and now it just says it's arriving late. Doesn't know when, just late. Thanks, USPS. Appreciate you. Ooh, Lee Turk is in the lead.
Yeah, I can see I1A and Not Geo are close though. Oh well, everything's just changed now.
Isn't that how marbles generally works?
Yeah, like you can be
much.
watching the leader for a long time, and then all of a sudden they'll be at the back.
Oh man,
Langlandia's coming up. He's rushing up the numbers.
ooh, we're going down the hatch. I don't know where to
I've not
follow
seen
this.
map before. I've not seen this map before.
Sorry to everyone's stomachs. sometimes these maps are hard to follow. They don't make it easy for you. Uh-oh. Here comes I don't know who that is because I have the names turned off because I'm dumb.
They're getting a huge lead. No,
Just hit left alt, Cyrus.
Oh, there we go. Dude, Eddie loses is not losing today. I think Jeff fa is just straight up stuck now. Unlucky. That's a feels bad man for him. F for Jeff. Oh, Eddie loses is stuck as well now.
Jeff's on his way now. Jeff's moving now somehow.
Somehow he got through the icicles. I think we've done this one once before.
Yeah, because I remember the very thin ramps.
Ooh, there's a traffic jam. Jeff fa.
He's storming into the lead.
Yeah, but he's got quite a few people coming in hot right on his tail. Oh, there's going to be some backup on these little slopes. I'm surprised no one's died yet. No one's gotten yeeted.
No one's been.
Nope. And as I said that,
There he goes. There he goes.
Someone finally got yoked.
Yoked. Lots of
Someone
people
got
got yoked.
oh no, Upas is not going to win the board that he made, unfortunately. Oh, not Geo. Sorry about you, bud.
The real Lippy. Sorry, bud.
Keeb Noob, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm not gonna steal it.
Kajita's bringing up the back. He's in the rear.
I think Jeff is going to win this one. He's so far ahead. Oh no, maybe not. People are catching up.
People are catching up, but Jeff
just
is
got
coming in
enough
hot.
of a
Will he
lead.
make it? And he does.
Does he miss?
Jeff.
He's in.
Jeff and maxed feelings with second, and then Bros Don't Flow in third. Langlandia, I'm sorry, I know you wanted an artisan, but you got fifth. You were the second loser.
The second loser. Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
So, guys, message me on Discord, and I will happily get you guys squared away. So just hit ! Discord, and we will get that. We'll get that going towards you. Probably early next week is when we will deal with it, as tomorrow obviously is the holidays. Just shoot me a PM Chewert Little in our Discord, and we'll get you taken care of.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I think we're going to do it over on our channel now, guys. If you do want to enter it to win an E8.5 and a set of GMK Moondust for first and second place, we're going to run marbles over on the Top Clack channel in just a second.
I'm opening
Brian,
the game right now. Nathan
ready?
Alpha Man, please. No ban. No bully, no ban. I'm opening the game now. Hold on, I'll get this up on screen momentarily. The intro screens are oddly long.
That they are.
Turn down this resolution a bit. I don't know how.
If we want.
I don't know how this is going to actually affect my stream. I am still running a 6700K, which generally works, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this much stuff on stream without frame drops. So if we get any frame drops, I apologize, guys. We'll deal with it as it comes. Yeah. Let me try to make sure I got this right. Hold on. Should be okay. This is looking pretty accurate. All right. So walk me through this, Osiris. I have the game open now. How am I racing this? I am a complete noob when it comes to
you
using
click
levels.
race. So
Okay.
you see the tab up there at the top that says race.
Yeah.
You click that, and then you let chat vote for the map that they want. And then you would click the map that wins, and then hit go.
Okay. So I assume people already know what maps they want. Is that how this generally works?
Yeah, they just have to hit !vote and then a number between 1 and 57. And again, this is over on twitch.tv/topclack. But yeah.
Well, all right then.
Lang's just been muted.
Was he !vote 69?
No, but Geo's just muted him.
What?
Wow.
Why would you?
It's not the first time.
I do want to give another quick shout out to Upas and everyone over at Cannon Keys for providing the obliterated 75 to give away for this stream. So really appreciate that. So shout outs to everyone over there at cannonkeys.com. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Nice. All right. So how long should I wait for this?
However long you want. Just
All right, we'll wait.
if you're ready, you can go.
We'll wait a little bit longer, I guess. A couple more seconds. Vote for your maps, guys.
It looks like it's not working, says Gwilad.
It's not working.
There's no votes counted. Yeah.
How
Have
do
you
I-
linked the game to your Twitch?
Yeah. It says Top Clack right here.
Interesting.
Do I have to do something else?
You might need Nightbot active in chat.
I mean, we have Nightbot.
Do we need to do something on Nightbot? Hold up, let me have a look. Do we need to configure Nightbot for this, guys?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I linked the account before the stream.
Okay, so Geo put it in emote only mode so people can't type play.
What?
So it seems like Geo's rigged it. Yeah.
Gio, what are you doing?
Way to
Gio,
go,
what
Gio.
the heck? Are you why are you trying to mess us up now? Wait,
Geo, please undo whatever you did.
he says he did not.
All right. I think
Okay,
what I'm
maybe-
going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and end our stream and just raid y'all.
Okay.
So that way there's no issues and then everyone can just go there.
For sure.
Um,
for sure.
Obviously, I'll still hang out and help get this all together for you. Or honestly, if we want to, I could just run it on my stream.
Yeah, Lang's saying in the top right, is there a login button despite still saying Top Clack?
I don't see one.
Top right of the screen, I think.
Yeah, hit the plus there.
Looks like stuff I can buy.
Connecting to Twitch chat.
Is it just borked right now?
Maybe. I can just run it over yonder.
Maybe that will be best.
Yeah, go on, just run it on your guys' chat then.
Yeah. Well, are we gonna do two? Since we have an E8.5 prototype, and we have a set of GMK Moon Dust. So should we run two? Should we do first and second on one race, or should we do first on two different races?
Let's do two races. Keep it nice and interesting.
Okay. So guys, if you're wondering what's going on, apparently I'm just really bad at marbles, or mine is broken or something, but it's not actually connecting to Twitch for me, even though it's it even says it's linked right here with Top Clack. So we're just going to be running this on the Mechs on Deck stream, which is still up, of course. So make sure if you're there, just stay there for the giveaways, and we'll be doing ours there. And shouldn't really be a whole lot different, thankfully. So there you go. We can do our first race for a set of GMK Moondust, and then our second will be for the E8.5 prototype. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and swap my view back here. And then, of course, guys, make sure you're over on Mechs on Deck stream so you can enter for these giveaways.
Absolutely. Man, Frozen 2 has taken an early and commanding lead in this vote.
Is Frozen 2 a popular one?
I think so. We've run it a couple times. So we honestly might just end up going on it.
Are we going to raid
No.
Mechs on Deck? No. No. Because the stream isn't fully over yet. We're just running the giveaway over there, guys.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it because it's like 11-2 right now for Frozen 2. So, and half the chat's just spamming exclamation point vote 69. But now you want to hit exclamation point play to be entered to win. And which one is this for? Is this for Moondust or the 8.5?
This is Moondust. Yeah, we'll do a brand new set of GMK Moondust first, and then we'll do the E8.5 prototype second.
Be sad to see this board go. Is that a really weird thing to say? I'll be sad that it's gonna go. But
it's not weird at all.
Board.
Langlandia says there's only one map, and it's number 69. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten there yet.
We'll get there one of these days, right?
Soon enough. Soon enough. All right, boys and girls. Exclamation point. Play in the Mechs on Deck chat. Be entered to win.
I was asking if it's winky or winkyless. It's winkyless, so you should be able to see it here in the screen now. It's a winkyless board. It doesn't come with the keycaps, but it comes with the board and PCB and everything else. But please do bear in mind, it is a prototype. It's very much a prototype. It will come desoldered, and I'll chuck in some switches as well, because why not?
Nice.
All right. You ready to get this guy? Get the marbles rolling. I can't words.
No, it's the off-brand marbles. Ray will appreciate that.
Funky, the switches will be whatever I've got enough of lying around that are ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be whatever I've got enough of lying around.
I'm trying to watch the stream on my phone because it takes up too many resources for my CPU if I watch it.
I had your stream on my phone earlier.
The things we do, man. The things we do.
Dude.
See Not Geo there in 5th. He's up there. I was. Langlandy was in the lead for a brief second there. That's all changed now.
This is one of the ones where like I can never trust what the ranker says because it's always wrong. You just have to like visually look for who is in the front.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is madness.
Dude.
As Hooligan 605 looks like he's briefly in the lead there.
Dude, everyone taking the left.
Oh, we've had some down the right now. We've had some down the right.
Oh, well.
I would if you win, it goes to the second place.
Ooh, this is looking pretty fun.
What was up there again?
Zui.
Chat always gets super hype about marbles. Also, Lang is in 3rd, and I don't know if I should be excited or sad that the man that spams the one-man spam of exclamation point vote 69 that is Langlandia might actually win this race.
Oh my gosh.
Someone needs to stop Lang. Someone needs to stop him in his tracks.
It could be Zui. He's been up on this top 10 for a while. Some of these courses are so long.
Dude, there's one that's like 7 minutes. It's like insane.
That's crazy.
How did he get such a big lead?
Lag, what is happening? What the heck?
It's okay. He's about to get stuck on a snowflake.
Oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks of golf with friends.
That's so much fun.
Nightmare flashbacks. Getting stuck on things.
Right in the middle.
Oh, that could have been a lot worse for Lag, actually.
He got through really quickly.
He got through pretty quick. Is anyone on the other side? No. Lang is just in the lead. We might have to get the photo finish for Lang. Oh, wait. There's some icicles. Mr. Sniffles coming in hot.
Oh no. Lang just got absolutely destroyed.
I'm dead.
Not like this. Oh my god.
Go on, Mr. Sniffles. takes the lead.
I don't know if. Wait. Why does it not recognizing Mr. Sniffles as winning?
It crashed with him not in the box, I think.
He's stuck.
He's stuck.
Oh
He
my
didn't make
gosh,
it in.
what?
He didn't make it in.
Is that like a bug or is that part of the map?
It's a ghost. Okay, apparently it's a ghost. It's a.
Okay, so Syntaxer is the winner.
Okay.
Okay.
A ghost. Okay. I don't know how the ghost system works.
I didn't realize I had a ghost.
I didn't
system on it.
either. I didn't either. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the record ghost. Okay, so Syntaxer, reach out to Brian and he will help you claim your set of Gmk Moondust.
Yes, Discord link below. Pretty easy to find me, and just prove to me that you are who you are. Show me a screenshot of your Twitch, and then yeah, we'll get you that set of Gmk Moondust. Now let's
Nice.
run again for a keyboard.
Again, for a wonderful E8.5. Oh yeah, this board. I'm going to be so sad to see this board go.
Man, it looks so nice too.
It is really nice. The key set doesn't come with it, I'm afraid, guys, because I'm not giving away my 11 key set. But yeah, so many good sets will work on this. Really sad to see this go.
Nice. All right, are we voting for a new map then? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, we're voting for a new map. Chat's already going with it. The
Nice.
one-man spam of vote 69's happening again.
One man spam.
The one-man spam. Charlie Cootie says, what's prototype about it? The fact that it's a prototype. Which is a pre-production board. So there might be some slight issues with it. Some of the fitments aren't 100% perfect, but it is a really special board either way.
And
it's
it
really
is
nice.
it is
It's
fully
actually-
functional too.
Yeah, it fully works. It's all fully functional. It's actually closer to the Chinese run of the group buy than the Western one because of how some of the parts work inside as well. But whoever wins it, I'll give them all the details that they need.
Yeah. So once again, guys, the stream marbles giveaway is happening over at twitch.tv/Mechs on deck because Marbles doesn't like me. So that's what we're doing.
I think this is user error. I think it's user error. but
It certainly could be, but I don't know what's happening. I linked the account, and it's still kicking me in the face. So
Absolutely. And it looks like we're taking it to Pixel Raceway 2. I don't think I've seen this map.
the new one on
before.
me as well as this. I like how there's moving things already at the start. It could
oh
be
no,
quite
Yeah.
disastrous right at the beginning.
I actually saw a race the other day where no one finished, so they had to run it again.
Oh wow!
Because-
No one
Wow,
finished.
everyone just
No
got
one finished.
Yote.
Exclamation point play in chat to get into the giveaway to be entered to win the E8.5 prototype. That looks beautiful. That's actually one of my favorite color combinations on that board. I feel like a lot of them looked kind of a little bit funky, but that one looks awesome.
Yeah, well, it's actually got the pink plate as well, so that's why I used Olivia with it because it just really works well with that. So yeah.
Nice.
Please don't eat my ball. We won't. We definitely will, Lang. All right, are we about ready to get this ball, get the ball rolling on this?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's start. Let's run this one.
All right, 10 seconds left to be, get your name in the hat for the E8.5.
Yep. Over on Mechs on Deck channel, because I still see people typing play in our chat.
It's okay. It's just making it easier for the 100 people that are in to win.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice having a smaller amount of people in the giveaway like this, because, I mean, obviously your odds go up substantially.
No, it's 1 in 100 chance you've got right now of winning. Rubber Duck taking an early lead.
Top Clack entering their own giveaway. Feels good, man.
Jay, please.
He said he didn't want to see it go. So
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
yeah.
All right.
No, if we win, it'll go to whoever gets second place.
Yeah,
But we're
yeah.
not going to win. We're miles behind.
Naturally. We see Brez up there in the top 5. Very interesting. Rubber Ducky
Yeah,
still in the
Brez looking
second
good.
spot.
What makes people's names green on this? Why are some names green and others
that's
white?
green is a modifier for our channel. So Brez is one of our
Oh,
mods.
true.
Ah, nice. Okay,
Blue
yeah.
is a sub. And then I think purple or pink is a VIP.
Nice,
Oh wow, this is
nice.
like
Keystream.
Keystream is just like dominating this map so far.
yeah, this is a quick one.
But like we saw last time, it's not over till it's over.
Oh, he hit the
Anything could
tires.
happen.
Brez is coming in hot. Brez is coming in hot.
Oh, Brez.
Oh, Brez.
Brez, don't mess around. Oh, that was
Taking the
clean.
lead.
That was clean.
I
That was-
know that
that's like-
Brez is going to be stoked.
Wow. Fantastic. That's the finish then? That was a short course.
That was a really short course, yeah. Brez, dude, reach out to me on Discord. You can get on the Top Clack Discord there. Just reach out to me, drop me a message, and I'll get this board shipped out to you straight after Christmas. And yeah, we'll sort that out for you, man. Really
Nice.
excited to get this board to you.
Yes, awesome. So Brez, message Jay, Center. Is it Centexer? Message me on Discord, of course, and we will get you sorted with your prizes.
Yeah.
All right. So
Nice.
there we go. There we go. We did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. So so what now? I guess that's all we had planned, huh?
That is
Yeah.
that is kind of it.
That was kind of it. And 2 hours and 2.5 hours later. Oh man, this has been a lengthy one, but it's been a good time.
It's nearly 5 a.m. here. Nearly 5 a.m. And apart from the random power cut an hour ago or whatever it was, it's been really good fun.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't
The
be
power cut wasn't fun.
it wouldn't be Top Clack if we didn't have a slew of problems. So
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
power goes
interestingly-
out. I can't play marbles. It's just normal stream for us.
When the power went off, the heating's gone off as well, so I'm absolutely freezing in
Oh,
here
no.
right now as well. It's like 9 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's like 40
That's-
Fahrenheit or something.
Yeah,
It's
relatively
really
chilly.
cold in here right now.
Yeah. Well, all right then. What are we doing here? Are we gonna pick someone to raid before we head off? We could just raid the same person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Lang had a great suggestion of rating basic builds. She's building a profit right now.
Basic builds.
So I think
It's
that
basic.
would be,
It's basic K builds.
Basic K builds. Is there like an
All one-
underscore? Or, oh, there we go.
Yeah, just all one word.
Nice. Okay, that's who we're rating then. That sounds good to me, guys. Quick shout out to our sponsors though, because I don't think we've mentioned our sponsors very much today.
We have wonderful
And
sponsors, yeah.
we do have some wonderful sponsors. Over on the Talk Clack side, we have the one, the only Novel Keys. You guys probably know them. You love them. It's the last day for the NK65 Olivia edition. So get on that if you're a big fan of Olivia and you want some unique stuff. Great board for the value. And SA Recall just launched on Novel Keys recently as well. Shout out to Langlandia. I believe that's one of his sets, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's looking pretty nice. And GMK Serica Round 2, that's going right now as well. Anything in stock, promo code ClickClack, get you 5% off. Let's see what else we have. We have the wonderful Kono. They're doing a couple key sets right now. GMK Hanami Dango looks awesome. SA Silent Assassin just launched. And they also still have some EVA themed switches. Moving on to KBDfans, they have the new Boop from Beep, which is just hilarious to say. It's a really interesting and fun looking 65% that's live now, and they have lots of other entry level stuff as well. It's a great place to go if you don't have a lot of money or you're newer to the hobby. Lots of good value there. And finally, Mekanisk. They have a couple new things going on as well. So WT60D PCBs in stock, new Gen 2 plates for the tray mounts in stock, Duroc Ultramarine stabilizers in stock, and as of just a couple days ago, the Ultramarine switches and the new Mekanisk desk mats also in stock, and they're still available. So good stuff there, guys.
absolutely. And over here on Mechs on Deck, shout out to our sponsors, switchmod.net. Go to switchmod.net/Mechs on Deck. Get 4% off any in-stock item. Muted 2 is running next month, so check that out. Dixie Mech, which will soon be Omni-type. But for right now, head on over to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. Pick up GMK 8008-2. It is live until the end of the month. And then did we already use the raid? Yes, we clicked the raid. Okay. All right. I guess I'm done.
Oh, you did it raid already?
Yeah.
Raid
Oh,
already?
it's like they changed it. It used to be like when you click raid, you could like build up viewerships or whatever, and then you raid. But now I think the raid is automatic as soon as you raid from the dashboard. Because I was struggling with that the other day too. It seemed very strange. But that's totally fine. Your raid's already going. We'll start our raid as well. So we'll go over there and we'll say something wholesome because that's what we do here. Try to be nice to people, have some compassion, and yeah, we can go watch a cool build stream and we'll say something wholesome, guys. And of course, check below the stream. You can find the links to our official Discord. You can come talk about, I don't know, your favorite cheese, or what you got for what you're getting for Christmas, what you got for Christmas, and even keyboard stuff. Believe it or not, there's some keyboard stuff in the Discord as well. So yeah, make sure to check out that stuff linked below, guys. And big thanks to Mechs on Deck for doing this collab stream with us. It's been a great time. You guys are obviously awesome friends of ours, and we always have a good time. We did this last year, and maybe we can make a little bit of a tradition of it.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right. Well, everyone, let's go check out basic builds. Let's get that viewership.
Get a raid on.
Let's get our raid on, yeah. And I guess this is going to start as soon as I do this, so I'm going to be quick about it. All right. Raid starting.